Like, I'm gonna actually cry. What is that thumbnail?
Okay, no, but this is something I don't know. I don't know why they do this, but they always have like a light behind the sprites. But it never makes sense because it's like
It
it's
looks like now Susie's become like a pixelated like statue.
yeah, no, it doesn't look like they are or I don't know. It's okay. Not a hero. Okay. Let me think about this. Because like this is
What
annoying
could
me.
this mean? What could
No,
this
I
mean?
understand what this means. Because there's a popular theory going around right now that
Yeah,
Susie isn't supposed to be the hero, the girl who's the hero in the prophecy.
yeah,
I might make a video specifically talking about that theory and all, because I don't fully agree with it. Because
fair
I
enough.
think there's two girls in the prophecy, because of the way it's worded, and one of them's Noelle and one of them's Susie. But I do like the theory. It's a cool theory, because, like, stuff like, oh, Susie's supposed to be able to wear, the bows?
Ribbons,
The
the
ribbons,
ribbon.
yeah. And then she's like, ah, shut up. But then, like, Noelle's able to.
Yeah,
So that might be what the theory is. Which, like, to be fair, when I thought Game Freak was making a theory, I was scared it would be bad. But that, at the very least,
it
makes
will be
sense.
bad. It's gonna be bad. All
The
right,
Legend of
let's.
Deltarune is a lie. What's that title? If that is what the title is, then the legend isn't a lie. The legend's
Legend of
true.
Deltarune. The prophecy of Deltarune
Watch
might
out,
be
today's
high.
episode is
Oh my god, sorry, I'm still at 1.5 times speed.
Oh wow, your YouTube Shorts brain.
I always look. I've never like spent. Obviously, I've never been sponsored. But like, what does
Yeah,
this mean?
a portion of today's episode. A portion, like only a little bit.
They were like, actually, the ending was awful. We do not want our name attached to that. No,
No, like I like the idea that we have this, and then halfway through it shows up. The rest of this video is sponsored by.
no, it's really sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Okay.
Raid Shadow Legends is not only the best game I have ever played.
Before we get into this video, number one, obviously, watch Game Freak's video. Also, I
Yeah,
mean, I guess we're like a smaller channel. It won't affect them too much, but like, watch their
link in
video.
share
I'll
your
link it.
subscribe account.
It seems to be doing well with like to dislike ratio. Uh, Game Freak throwing their hat in the ring. Okay, I don't read too many comments. My one hope. This is something they started doing with Death and theories, but
Yeah.
in the when Game Freak's first touch like Deltarune and Untel, they would always just like never look outside their own bubble of theories. If that makes sense, like they never go like, oh, what is the community saying right now? Which I always had a problem with. So I hope they're going to take already pre-existing ideas and use that to make a theory.
Right. Let's start
Let's start.
the Warner Brothers games video.
Also, we are going to be pausing this video quite a lot, so
Oh, if you
sponsored
don't
by
want to see our
WB
pauses,
Games.
just
The
leave.
Legend of
just leave.
Sorry.
Let's read
Leave.
Deltarune.
It's Chris, the Legend of Deltarune.
That was Chris.
The
What
Deltarune
happened to
is a
Chris's bottom
lie.
half?
Many of the characters we've fallen in love with actually play very
What?
different roles than we originally thought. And now it's
Okay.
time to reveal the truth. The truth about our
What?
heroes, their greatest enemy, and the legend of the Deltarune itself.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that promises to
Okay, actually, I use this font a lot.
Yeah.
I use this font a lot when making videos. Every letter here is lowercase except for this A.
Yeah, no, I realized that in the actual title of Delta, and it really annoyed me.
Yeah, because like the capitals have a heart in them.
No,
Hello,
wait, don't worry, I got
Internet.
this. I figured it out. It's because the A is actually supposed to be an Among Us.
Now you see the A. The A stands for soul.
Welcome to Game Theory,
Yeah.
the show that promises to
A
give the
soul.
new Pope Leo a copy of Deltarune if given the chance. But if
What?
I'm bringing up
Yeah.
that dead meme, that can only
Okay.
mean one thing.
Do you not know that Map Pack gave the Pope Undertale?
I did not know that.
Wow, you're out of the loop.
Leave me alone.
Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 have finally arrived, and I have been dying to get stuck into these new installments of the story, have some questions answered from previous chapters, and as always, try to solve the new questions these chapters present. And there is a lot to
I thought that was
discuss,
just
my
a
friends.
hole
We're
from
going to
hell
be
in the
uncovering
room.
the identities of some familiar characters and what their
Whoa,
roles are
No,
in
I
won-
Deltarune. Learning that the things we thought we
Fuck!
said
What is this? What the fuck?
Who is Noel? I know that
No.
probably it's like probably going like, oh, what is Noel's role? But like the idea of like, who is Noel?
Who is Noel? Who is this mysterious person?
All right, let's try and get into the actual video. The video
Let's
has
actually
started.
Okay, let's actually try.
Stone may not actually be true anymore.
What?
Seems to be a running theme
What?
on this channel recently. And of course, figuring out what it all means for
Wait, hang on, sorry. Let me
that
go
the
back.
things we thought to be set in stone may not actually
Yeah,
be true
I go.
anymore.
No
Seems to
offense,
be a
but
running
you're
theme on
always
this
wrong
channel
with these
recently.
games.
And of course, figuring out what it all means for the future of this franchise. So, gulp down that juice, theorists. It's time to open up a dark fountain and dive back into the world of
No, don't do that!
Lee, what are you doing here?
Oh my god.
Are you here to help me take on the lore of Deltarune? What? No, don't be.
Oh, is this a sponsor? Hang on, yeah, sponsor. Ooh.
Oh my god, it's Raid Shadow Legends!
Oh my god, it's true. I didn't know Superman was in that game. Yeah, if you,
Right,
yeah, there we go.
It's been almost 4
Damn.
years since Chapter 2 was released, and over a year
That's
since our last
wild.
video on it. So before we get too deep into this dark world,
Chris,
let me
stop
give you a quick
smirking,
recap.
jeez.
Okay. Oh, this is something I didn't even mention with the thumbnail. I got distracted, but I hate it when people just like rotate sprites because like the pixels are diagonal.
What? What sword is that?
I
What the
don't know. I'm trying to think. I think it's like it's not the same as the one. Both this sword and the sword in the thumbnail are like
They look the same.
they look the same. I think they're from Zelda. They might be from a Zelda game.
Fair enough.
Well, like, why not use a knife or like the sword Chris uses in the sword room? I don't know.
Video on it.
I guess they're
before
too
we get
undetailed.
Too deep into this dark
Fair
world,
enough.
let me give you a quick recap. Deltarune is the spiritual successor to the wildly popular indie
Okay.
RPG Undertale, a game where every small decision you made, from defeating enemies to how you spoke to characters, completely
Damn,
altered
why
your life and
Tenor
path.
playing?
Deltarune, however,
Tennis
looks a little
bored.
bit different. There aren't multiple paths you can take that lead to different endings. Characters aren't
Well-
killed, but instead the battles end after a certain amount of damage is made.
Okay,
and
don't
you
lie.
spare them. The whole
Like,
Okay.
I get
aim
it's
of this
like
game is
dramatic tension, but still,
Yeah.
don't lie.
Like, I guess they won't lead to other endings, so they're not technically wrong.
Fair enough.
But like,
choices don't
Technically, your choices do matter.
okay, I'm gonna assume he's gonna mention this. By the way,
Yeah.
I feel like some people might watch this, might not know, because a lot of people I've seen forget that Matt Pat's not like here anymore.
Yeah.
But I love Tom.
He's
I think Tom is genuinely such a good host.
Mappad's dead?
Oh, but died. No, I genuinely love Tom. Like, unfortunately, the way GT Live has gone, it
Yeah.
just feels weird. I don't know, GT Live just feels weird now. It used to be my favourite. Even after MatPat left, it was my favourite channel. It comes, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I showed you,
Well-
like, the thumbnails for, like, their videos, remember?
Yeah.
And they just
The
felt weird.
thumbnails have gone really odd.
I think they've always... People, they just feel less... They feel like the same vibe as the old thumbnails, just lower quality. If that makes sense?
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. Oh, what? Is Chris Squish? Or is that just me? Oh, I see what happened here. They stretched the video out to, like, go to the full aspect ratio. Don't do that.
Over the last 2 chapters, we met Chris, a quiet individual who explores places called...
Oh my god, it's...
Wait, hang on. There's anti-aliasing in the sprite. Look.
I know, I know.
The
That's
dark
so-
I was wondering
with
why
former
there's a
bullies
gap
Susie.
between
During these
their
adventures,
legs.
they meet Rolls,
Well,
a
yeah, there's
creature
supposed to be a
from the
gap between
dark
their
world
legs.
who wants Chris
No,
to
but that's always
fulfill the
like
legend of
with
the
like it's
Deltarune.
always
This
filled in with a
prophecy
dark
was that
line.
3 heroes, a human,
It
a
isn't.
monster, and a prince
It
from the
is.
dark
No,
would
it's not.
seal the dark
Yes,
fountains
it is.
and
It isn't.
banish the angels'
It is.
heaven.
I can assure you, it's not.
I'm absolutely sure it is.
Look, it's always been transparent.
Am I thinking about the vessel? Probably am.
Let me look. Vessel Deltarune. I get no, because like they've always had like a white. Oh no, this is the wiki. They've always had a. They've always. I think it had a white line in it because it was like highlighted. But no, they've always had a gap between their legs. Otherwise,
Weird.
it'd be
So
one
they,
leg.
so they genuinely do just have like one leg smaller than the other.
No, yeah, they do have one leg smaller than another, and that's a joke with the vessel where all like are the same except for the last one where it's flipped.
Again,
It's always been a
highlighting
weird
the
design.
idea that their destinies are set. They cannot be changed.
And then Garson
and even
appeared.
if you try to force a change, like you can in Chapter 2, where you do a genocide-like run, making your friendly
The
neighbor
weird route.
Noel freeze enemies to death, it still doesn't
Oh.
change the outcome. It only
What?
affects how you got there and how Noel
But he
behaves.
said.
Not exactly what people were expecting when the game first came out, but something you can
What?
do to affect
What
the
happened?
outcome of this channel is hitting that subscribe button. We're
Okay.
actually on our way to hitting 20 million
Don't play the weird
subscribers,
sound.
and we're planning something really special for when we
Actually,
hit
no,
it.
that was
But
the
if you wanna
cancelled
find out
weird
what
route.
that
Never
is,
mind,
you
that's
gotta
smart.
hit that button. If you're skilled enough, that is.
I did. This isn't playing.
The heart is,
Oh, wow, you
the heart is
actually
lopsided.
did it.
Why?
I better get to playing
Okay,
then.
can I just say, as someone who has recently started doing theories,
Yeah.
I always try to get to the point as soon as possible. Am I?
Yeah.
Should I not be doing that? Because like we're 5 minutes in, nothing's happened.
Tell me, like, okay, so we've gone through the general like basis of.
Okay.
the story.
Yeah, I guess
game.
for Game Theory, who is like a very like does everything channel, it's fair
Yeah.
enough to have like a big section just explain Deltarune.
Yeah.
Because like people might not know what Deltarune's about who are watching Game Theory, but people
Like,
who are watching my channel probably will.
Like especially the reason why I was kind of on about like. So I get that your choices don't matter is a prominent like as a prominent like I guess plot element would be the right word.
Mm.
Throughout the game of Deltarune. But like the thing is, right now, from what I can tell, they're breaking it up so much that I can tell people just like seeing that, lodging it in their brain, and then thinking, okay, so our choices don't matter, and then they're gonna get confused when they start talking about other things about how your choices affect.
Yeah, I think the way they should explain it, as a channel who is the most like mainstream theory channel, really.
Yeah.
The way they should have explained this is in Undertale, Flowey says it's kill be killed. And like, oh, you have to kill. And then very quickly you're shown that that isn't the case. And that's what Deltarune's doing with your choices don't matter. Well, your choices do matter, but in a different way than they did in Undertale.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I agree. They should have done that a different way.
Yeah.
Yowie zowie.
Then. But in the
Yowie
meantime,
zowie.
let's chat about Chapter 3.
Okay.
Because we are met with a similar linear path to the previous chapters. In Chapter 3, we travel through the dark world opened by Chris at the end of Chapter 2, where we take on
Chris!
Tenna, the TV set that has been forgotten. Tenna has Chris's mother Toriel imprisoned under the instruction of the Knight. This is a character we have been
Oh my God.
waiting to hear more about from the first few chapters. They are a big part of the legend of the Deltarune, being the one who is trying to bring around the Roaring, an apocalyptic event that will doom everyone. And by the end of Chapter 3, the Knight shows themselves, defeating our heroes and fleeing to a bunker in town with poor Undyne in tow. Chris and Susie discover that there is a code into this bunker, but they believe they have to get it from the mayor, Noel's mother. This is where Chapter 4 kicks off. Susie and Chris
God.
invite themselves over to
Wow, we
Noel's
really
to
spent
see,
3 chapters pretty
after
quick.
finding part of the
Okay.
code, a new dark
Another
fountain
thing, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I find weird is so they go through the general basis of the storylines of Undertale and Deltarune, and then don't proceed to explain any of the characters in Deltarune.
Yeah, like, I guess they might. I don't know. I think I'm very interested in what they choose to go over and what they
Yeah.
choose not to.
Because ultimately, because I can assume that, like, I can assume on the benefit of the doubt that, like, they're not explaining this since they assume the people who are watching this know Deltarune, and
Yeah.
the reason why they talked about the stuff in the beginning is because it will tie into stuff later.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a thing of like they're assuming people have at least like a baseline understanding, but maybe with chapter 1 and 2, some people might not have played them since they first came out.
Fair enough.
So yeah, no, okay.
Is formed at the church nearby. Susie and Chris enter and begin to learn about the prophecy of the
And Garson
Deltarune.
appears.
Once again, Chris seals the
Oh,
dark
no,
fountain
Garson
after
doesn't appear.
going up against the roaring
Garson
night and the
doesn't
titan
matter.
Garson's
that
not
they
in the
summon,
game.
a sign of the roaring that is to come.
Interesting
So
not mention
let's
Garson when
talk
I feel
about
like
Roaring
he
Knight
proved your
for a
query.
minute. For a long time, their identity has been a mystery hanging over this
Ooh.
community. Could it be Father Alvin? He seemed mighty suspicious. Was it really Chris because they opened a dark fountain at the end of chapter 2? Well, finally, we've got
Okay,
to
like,
see the
okay,
Roaring
another
Knight
thing.
in
Wait,
the
pause. Like this is just like an editing thing. It's just a thing that like I personally think, right?
Yeah.
But to be fair, like it actively sounds like you're making these theories sound ridiculous when you have the Night Sprite on screen.
Yeah, that's fair. When you have the knight on screen and their design right there, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to think, oh yeah, that's that old turtle, obviously.
Like naturally, we didn't know what the Knight looked like in chapter 1 and 2, so these theories ultimately were valid.
Yeah, I don't think that. I guess like I know they're saying like at the time this is what we thought, and now we know different.
Yeah.
But I think I think it's just specifically like they could have like maybe hid the knight's design in the video and revealed it. Like, there's not really much point of doing that, but you know.
darkness. And it's clearly
It's just a thing that I had in my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty tricky to fight against yourself. But then, who is it? Well, the first major clue we get is that the night isn't like other darkness. Or I'll say has made it clear over various chapters that darkness cannot leave the dark world because they aren't really real.
Okay, we knew
like
this,
Chris
but
and Susie.
okay,
They just
I think
exist as
actively
playing
everyone knew that the night
objects that
wasn't a
moving
dark.
in the shadows.
Because that'd be
After you
that'd be
defeat,
impressive.
or more likely lose to the Roaring Knight.
It should be impressive if the person making dark fountains was a darkner who is said to darkness can't make dark fountains.
Like that wasn't even really contested since in chapter 2, Queen says lightners make dark fountains and the knight is making dark fountains.
Yeah. Also, this is not anything to do with the video, but I think we can. I'm pretty confident that we can say that both chapter 1 and 2's dark worlds were made by the knight.
Yeah.
Because the church has like the closet door, and it says, "Oh, a large man could fit in here." You choose not to open the door, implying the knight's in there, and that's the same thing you see in chapter 2. And also, we know that chapter 1's dark world had a door to the supply closet, also being a closet, so it could imply that the knight could have made that one.
The knight's in the closet.
The knight's, yeah.
He runs away to the world of light and is able to exist inside the Roaring Knight. He meaning in the shadows. But after you defeat, or more likely lose to the Roaring Knight, he runs away to the world.
It's misdirection. It's misdirection. It's fine.
Okay, it might be misdirection, but if they're going, are they going with Rudy Knight? Because that is a real theory, and I disagree with it. It's a fun theory. I disagree with it.
Once again, it's a general thing that I've just always thought about that theory. It's like, okay, so like naturally, while it isn't automatically, we can't automatically say it's death just because of the antler horns, right?
Yeah.
Antler horns. I think they're just called antlers.
Antler horns.
Shut up. Okay. So you could generally say, oh, maybe it's Carol, maybe it's Rudy. Like, okay, I generally get that since we can't. I guess like you could say we can't assume that it's death just based off of that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like outside of like the other things that point to it being death.
Yeah.
Since I know that when talking about like stuff like the bat and the like baseball transformation thing that they do, right? When talking about that stuff, it's normally like excused in under the idea of like they're related to Noelle, like they
That
could have
yeah,
these
that would be
things.
weird though. That would be weird for like. That's like, oh, everyone goes, oh, this character uses the red car, and then someone like steals the red car. But no, I know what
and
you
so
mean.
like, but outside of that, the main reason why I personally think it's Des, is just the fact that if it wasn't Des, then I find all of the Azrael references in the night fight to be weird.
Yeah, no, that'd be really weird.
Because
No,
if it was Carol or Rudy, it doesn't make sense for them to have direct parallels to Azrael's fight.
obviously, Carol and Rudy both have a crush on Azrael. That's just what Toby's.
Oh fuck! No.
That's just what Toby's implying here.
No, Toby, why?
Toby, why would you do this? I like the idea of making a theory and getting mad at Toby for the theory.
Why would you do this?
Okay, anyway, Tom, what are you saying, huh?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Tom.
And is able to exist inside the bunker,
Mhm.
implying that this knight isn't a dark
That's
but a
the-
lightner like
What a
Chris
lightner!
Susie that is able to exist in both worlds.
True.
And with this being
Wait,
a
what?
light
Wait,
Chris
what?
Susie that is
Why
able to
why
exist
single
in
out
both.
Susie?
Wait, no, they say Chris and Susie. What's the red?
Okay.
They just took the sprite. Wait, oh my god, they just took a screenshot of the sprite sheet. You can tell because like this shouldn't be here, and these red things should be where the lamps are placed over.
This is amazing. This is beautiful.
That was just like
And with this
weird
being a
choice.
lightner, we should also be able to take a look at their physical appearance to
Truth.
narrow it down more. Chris and Susie still look like themselves in the Dark World, so it's likely there will be some similarities between the
Yeah.
knight and their lightner form. Starting with the head. It's clear that this roaring knight has antlers. Other
Good.
than making him look pretty cool, this connects the roaring knight specifically to Noelle and her family. The
I thought he was just gonna say it was Noelle.
Wait, see, the only character I remember, and this is Noelle. No, I like how Des doesn't even show up here. Des doesn't get a reference.
The holidays.
I'm gonna guess
No,
Des's reference
They're
now.
building it up. They're building it
Yeah.
up. Wait a minute.
Right.
I just realized. I'm sorry. I just realized it would be really funny if do you remember that post you sent me where it was like someone saying that Des was Noelle's
Oh
brother?
yeah, someone thought Des was Noelle's brother. Like, I don't even understand how you know who Des is without knowing that Des is Noelle's sister. Because I feel like the reference as Noelle's older sister more than as Des at this point.
I like the idea. Does Tom think
Oops.
Des is a guy?
Oh my god, that might be the case. That would be so fun. I don't think that'd be funny though if that was the case. Because
It's so funny.
okay, well that's why am I
Let's
getting
hear it.
messages? Whom?
You're a popular person, jeez.
God damn.
to Noelle and her family. The holidays.
The
a
holidays.
family of reindeer. Immediately, my mind went to Carol, Noelle's mother.
Okay,
She
right.
seemed pretty evil so far, with her red text talking directly to the player and her neglectful treatment of Noelle.
She doesn't
She
even-
even has a katana on the wall, which would fit the knight's sword. But when I looked more closely
Okay.
at the knight's sword, something else caught my attention. When they hold it up,
What, the fact that it looks like a bat?
The bottom has a flat edge. If this were a
And-
katana or any other traditional sword,
Yeah.
that flat part in the pixel art would be higher up to
Yeah.
act as a guard for the hand. But this one is at the bottom. Plus, if you take a look at the
This
top of the
kinda
sword,
just looks
it's
like
more
a bat,
rounded
you
than
could
it's
just say
pointy.
that.
The pose almost reminds me of when I was a kid and how I tried to balance a baseball bat in my hand. Wait, in previous chapters, Noelle recalls how her older sister Des
Okay.
hit Chris
Great.
with a
Thank God.
wiffle
Honestly, yeah,
bat.
I
Well,
was
and
scared
you know
that
taking items
Game
into
would
the
do
dark
something
world
weird here,
transforms
but
them,
no.
like our sword really just being a pencil. Des is also the only member of the family we haven't met yet. We actually know very little about Des, other than her full name is December, keeping with the holiday theme. She is no longer around, and weirdly, that she's left-handed, based on her mouse being on the
Yeah.
left side of her
Oh.
computer. And wouldn't you know it, the knight also wields their sword in their left hand.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Well, I agree, it's interesting. Number one, most computers in this game are left-handed for some reason, and number two, the knight constantly swaps which hands
Yeah.
they hold
The
the
knight-
weapon with.
the knight can technically be read as ambidextrous.
Yeah. Also, I don't agree with this, but it's a thing in some media where people will use their non-dominant hand to hold back.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that trope.
Yeah.
There's more than a wiffle bat sword that connects the Roaring Knight to Des.
Why
When
is it
trying
so
to look for
blurry?
the code to the bunker, Chris enters
Why is it
Des's
wobbling
room
about?
and finds Des's guitar.
Yeah.
That guitar has
Des's
shown
guitar.
up once before during the Spamtum Sweepstakes ARG that happened a few years ago. Players found a web link called Deltarune.com.
I'm actually quite happy with the series
By
so
going
far.
to the
I think
web
everything's
page
been
and clicking on
fine.
the guitar, it plays a song called FindHer.ogg. This musical motif is also present in the Roaring Knight's theme
Oh, yeah.
song. The music in this game is exceptional. Toby Fox is a fantastic composer, and so to make a song with such a similar motif cannot be a mere coincidence.
Toby Fox has never
Especially
used a
when in
motif.
Chapter
What do you
3,
mean?
there is a slot machine where you can enter as many
That's
points as
crazy.
you like to get a prize. And if you choose to spend 1,225 points, a strange room appears. In this room is another machine that contains a piece of lacquer. Small, dark, and triangular, just like a guitar pick. And don't think I forgot about the number of points you entered to get to this secret room. 1225, as in December 25th, Christmas, a December holiday. And the cherry on top of all of this is that when Chris actually looks at this
Why is it
guitar
so
in Chapter 4, what do they
blurry?
find? The code to the bunker. The code to the bunker that the Roaring Knight is hiding
Hey,
in is
you-
inside Des's guitar. Des is the Roaring
Okay, yeah.
Knight.
Okay.
So then, why is
Okay.
she fighting us? Why is she trying to bring about
Why did you call the
roaring,
knight a
letting
he, then?
darkness take
Yeah,
over
that's
the
so weird. I don't know why you
and letting
did that.
light in?
That one is
But
weird.
It all comes down to
If you
the
wanted to
rest
like
of the
save
legend
it for
of the
reveal,
Deltarune.
just use
Or
non-binary
should I say,
file.
the real
Yeah, just say
legend.
that.
In Chapter 4, when we enter the Dark World in the church, a church that believes in the legend of the Deltarune, by the way, we encounter glass panels that Ralsape reveals are the prophecy of the Deltarune. Even though we already knew all of this, we were told most of it by Ralsape in
human,
Chapter 1,
a
but it turns
monster,
out there's a little
and a
more
prince
to the
from the
story,
dark.
and something about it wasn't sitting
I'm actually getting
right.
on subtitles.
In the
just
later
if
part
anyone
of the
needs-
prophecy,
Oh wait, they
it
were
says
blocking that.
this:
Never mind.
the
There's no
first
point.
hero, the cage with human souls and parts. The second hero, the girl with hope
Okay.
crossed on her heart. And the third hero, the prince alone in the deepest dark. And last was the girl. At last was the girl.
Actually, there's no the in before Deepest Dark. Sorry, I just want to be annoying.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so I'm gonna assume they're going to go with the idea that Susie's not actually supposed to be the hero. I think,
Okay,
yeah,
like I'm fine with that, but I think I'll also find that annoying.
the
Not-
only
not-
reason,
Not because of any problem with the theory so far,
yeah,
or that theory in general.
yeah,
It's just the fact that once again, it reminded me of that one theory we watched where they said they were going to talk about one thing and then talk about a completely different thing for 95% of the video.
To be fair, we're like half the video and then we're actually at the point of the video.
I understand.
I
but,
just
like-
understand what the I guess they mentioned who the knight was. Okay, I'm not sure.
I'm hoping that the previous two things that they talked about, so the fact that we have no choice,
Yeah,
right, in the game, and the fact that Death is the Night. Because the thing is, I can see them adding Death is the Night just to, like, I don't know, make it more widespread.
or
in a
just
way.
like it just feels like right now it feels like filler almost.
In a way, yeah.
And I understand. Here's the thing. I actually I have mentioned Death being the knight in my videos, but I've gone out my way to not specifically make a video about Death being the knight.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it's just... I don't know how to describe it. Like, fast food theory, if that makes sense. Like, a theory
In a
that
way,
doesn't really
okay.
add anything.
I think personally, the reason why I think I completely agree with you here is because, like, with most theories, right? You can't technically be right since we don't actually have an answer.
Yeah.
And I guess in a way is this fact that, like, a lot of the evidence towards Death being the knight just overlaps with a lot of the evidence for other characters being the knight.
Yeah.
And we can just say, hey, okay, Death is the knight because of this, this, and this. And then someone else can just be saying, well, Carol's probably the knight because of this, this, and this. And it's probably all the same points.
Yeah. here's the thing. The one thing I would say is the fact that, as they mentioned in this video, the katana still has the base of a baseball bat. I think, a point against Carol. Especially because Dexter's room has like posters of swords in it.
Wow, I can't believe Dex was a nerd.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
My issue with this theory. Not that I have an issue with the theory itself, but the thing I would say against it is I prefer the idea that if you read the fact that Susie's prophecy in Horror Dark World is like almost backwards in a way in a lot of places, or like mismatched.
Yeah.
If you actually try to read the prophecy that we see in the opposite order, the correct order even, I believe it makes it seem more like there's two girls being mentioned, of there being a girl of with hope crossing her heart, and then also a second girl who loved vines.
Yeah.
And the first one, I do think is Susie. I do think Susie is the girl with hope crossing her heart, because she usually...
Susie's hope girl.
Susie's hope girl, no. She is usually the one who relates to hope with her like, interaction with Victoria in the flashback. And then Susie, Noelle is obviously into love. Number one, because of Susie and Bardi and me. Right, they all are in love with her for some reason. Everyone's in love with everyone in this game. This sucks. I hate. But like also because love as in LV, which probably relates to Chris. Also with Chris and Noelle's weird group having. Yeah, and Chris and Noelle having a lot of romantic underlinings in the weird group, which is always like uncomfortable, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what they say. But my other issue is just this is on pre-existing theory.
Yeah.
And they're just
like I get the fact that like okay, yeah, it's a pre-existing theory, and in the end you can say like, oh, they're just making people more aware of it. But the thing is like,
I mean they credit two writers in this video, and they don't mention
anyone who came up with the original theory. Like I don't know, maybe they do spin it into something of that they know they make.
Because like
they made.
One of my favorite YouTubers, Salty DK Dan, literally came up with this theory during the Chapter 4 playthrough. He literally came up with this exactly. I was like, honestly, you've had like months to do this. If the theory, your big theory come up for Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, is something that most people thought of on their first playthrough, I don't know, maybe like stay on the drawing board for a bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me though.
Reading the prophecy, Susie comments on how Prince's role say the first hero is Chris and the girl is her. That, however, didn't sit right with me because the image we have of the girl doesn't look like Susie. The image of the first hero is the heart.
It looks pretty much. It looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It has her like snout. It has a snout and her hair. This image has her hair flip up in the same exact way.
Okay.
The thing is, wrong.
If they tell me that this is Noelle, when they say that they point out like Death's antlers as like a big hint that this is Death, I'm gonna explode.
Who is this though? Because like it has like her snout and her hair, but she's like also it has like this like bit where the jacket goes outwards. It's in the same way as with this. It's just the sword is weird, because Chris is the only one to use a sword.
The sword is weird.
Yeah, Chris is the only one to use a sword so far.
But I will say, I'm pretty sure that looks like Susie. I'm gonna admit
no.
I don't know what you're on about.
This looks like Chris also. This also looks like Chris. So.
This looks like Chris.
Also, it's not supposed to be Chris. It's supposed to be the vessel, not Chris. So, the heart is
Which is us and Chris being the vessel. The image of the
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like this. This is really weird looking.
Also has the soul.
Is Rolsei in a robe, but the image of the second hero is carrying
a
sword.
Okay,
and wearing
once again, like I will say that like Rolsei doesn't wear a cloak.
Except for the right beginning.
Right at the beginning, like fine, but also like I don't think we can take these as like direct parallels to them.
Because like this would imply that Rouse should be wearing a coat the whole time, and that
Yeah.
Chris should just be 2 arms and a heart. I don't think we can take the images as exact.
Literally.
Yeah, I think that is an issue.
In a row, but the
Is this image also? Did they change these
Haas
images
and Chris
slightly?
being the best
It's like-
image of the third hero.
They're more vibrant. and
Yeah,
that's
because like
okay.
this usually looks way more like fire. I swear. But now it looks like like they just like have hands and they're putting their fingers in claws.
They're doing
Also,
air
no,
quotes.
the
They, like-
image of the second hero is carrying a sword and wearing what looks like a gown. Susie doesn't ever really carry a
Like,
sword.
I mean,
She's no-
This literally has the same shape. Is what I'm gonna say. This literally has the same shape, the same flick back, the same snout. It just, I hate this spread by the way. Have you ever tried to follow like this, the handle? It just doesn't work. It just bends.
for her axe, and she definitely hasn't worn a gown. Plus, when Susie attempts to open the dark fountain later in the chapter, all the colors were wrong. Things aren't exactly the same as the real dark.
I wonder if they will.
Because though Susie knows how to open a dark fountain, she isn't the real hero.
That doesn't make sense.
What?
What does that mean? Why would that?
Huh?
Why would that mean?
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Why would that actually mean something? Genuinely though.
So, like,
Oh God.
okay, first things first. As like once again, like you said, why would that mean anything? Why would that say, oh, Susie doesn't open a dark fountain properly. The bitch isn't the hero. Like,
See,
what-
okay, I like the theory
Maybe.
that Susie is just colorblind, and that's why the Dark World has wrong colors. Because the thing is, it is stated that Dark Worlds form based on your experiences with these locations. Susie's Dark World is wrong because number one, Susie might be colorblind. Number two, Susie actively has said she hasn't gone to church before, so she has no connection to church. And also, she didn't know Garson when he was alive, so Garson's wrong.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like in a general sense, right? It's kind of like adding another dark fountain onto a dark fountain. Since basically Susie's trying to recreate the dark world that was already there.
Yeah.
And so it's all wrong because it's trying to be like the darker version of darkness.
Like, okay, here's an example I think is good. You know the egg room in chapter 4?
Yeah.
And how it's the idea of Chris is drawing something and keeps on drawing over it, keeps on trying to redraw what they saw.
Yeah, it's that general idea.
It's that idea of like, if you see something and you try to recreate it from memory, I mean, oops. It's literally like how, have you ever seen those videos that says like, oh, I recreate Undertale from memory, or something like that?
Yeah.
It's like that, where people are recreating it. Like Susie has just been there for a little bit and tried to recreate it based on her experiences being there. It's not going to be perfect. And she also has different motivations. Because we don't know what Chris's motivation is, I guess, when making the Dark Fountain right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, well, let's just continue. We'll see. Sorry, I accidentally stopped the recording there. Yeah, but no, let's just continue. We're halfway through this, and we're already 7 minutes to the recording.
Oh.
Spoken of in the prophecy. Susie is simply believing it must be her because Rolsei told her that she was the second hero back in the first
Yeah, that's fair.
chapter. But if I'm saying that's wrong, that Susie isn't the second hero, then there's only really one other character
Noelle?
it can be. A girl that wears a gown, has been a member of the hero's party, and
I'm
when
gonna
you combine
cry.
her ring of thorns that you get from her special root with a pure crystal, you get an item
Okay,
called the
interesting.
Twisted
Okay,
Sword.
that's
That
interesting.
is Noelle.
Going with the Twisted Sword is fine. Personally, I more think that the Twisted Sword is meant to be for Chris to use, since I think that's the general idea.
Yeah,
but...
Chris uses it. You can get the sword, and it gets put on Chris and removes Chris's trance. So I understand
sorry,
that
wait.
point. You can, if you cheat in the Twisted Sword right now,
Yeah.
only Chris can use it, and it will give Chris the effect of like lower trance, like lowering, like it removes Chris's trance.
Okay.
To us.
Okay, so Chris can do things more themselves.
Which like when chapter 2 was, I was like, oh, that's gonna be cool. But now Chris has already done that. Really, if you're being honest, Chris can.
Yeah. honestly.
shown they don't need us.
Like, I was kind of like throughout the chapter 4, I was just like really confused because originally I thought like Chris died if Chris didn't have us.
I remember people thought like, oh, when you go back into Chris, your health is lower, meaning Chris was dying when we're out of them. But like, no, maybe our health is lower because Chris hit us with a baseball, like a hockey stick, 50 times. Apparently, actually, your health does lower in that scene. Like every time you get hit, your health goes lower and lower.
But also like once again, okay, so once again going off that, where's her antlers?
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing: her face shape, head shape is different. Her hair, I don't think flips backwards. I think it's just more like a fluffy hair
The
rather than
thing
flip back.
is if we was to say that's Noelle must be her neck is perpendicular to her body.
Yeah, like I think the gown is the only part of that looks more like Noelle than Susie, but then the rest of it looks like it could just be meant to be both of them, where one of the uses of them is Susie, one of the uses of them is Noelle. Because like I don't know.
I will go with that simply because we have already talked about how it doesn't one-to-one with any of the characters.
Yeah.
Noelle has become a more significant character as the chapters have gone on.
I like how like being more significant makes her happier.
Okay, I will say, I wouldn't say that. I would say Noelle is a significant character, but not as the chapters have gone on.
Yeah, she hasn't got more significant.
Noelle wasn't in chapter 3 after all.
Yeah.
And Noelle had, would you say, a less to or equal role as they had in chapter 2 to chapter 4?
Less because they went in the dark world. But like I think they have an important role, obviously.
I would just genuinely say that Noelle is an important character. I don't, as the chapters go on, they've gotten more important.
I think the only thing that you can say, I think the thing you can say is that Noelle's character has been developed more, but that doesn't make her more important. She was always this important. She just now has more screen time.
Yeah.
Because like, that's like saying Rousey has become more important because Rousey has shown more stuff. But like, no, Rousey was always important.
Rousey was always important.
No, actually, Rousey in chapter 1, they didn't exist. He didn't.
I don't remember Rousey. I just remember a person wearing a hat.
Yeah, I just remember a person wearing a hat, and I have no object currency.
The way you force Noelle to cast magic and freeze people, Noelle is becoming more confident and is gaining the ability to fight.
Okay, they also become more confident in a normal route. Let's be honest there. This is I don't know.
You also encounter these priestly figures of the Deltarune, each of them telling you a tale connected to the prophecy, and one of them says, "Who will call the girl who snows?" Which is referring to what we literally do during the Spamton Neo fight.
I did that.
Call on Noelle's name, and she is summoned, killing Spamton with her ice magic. In another part of the prophecy, it says, "Love finds its way to the girl." The image here is the same as the second hero, but it has a heart like ours inside it. On a more innocent level, this could be referring to Noelle's crush that she has on Susie, but given all the references to the Snowgrave route that we've already had, I believe there's a darker meaning behind this. In Undertale, we were taught about the love stat. When we kill enemies, our love increases, but the stat actually stands for level of violence. During the Snowgrave route, Noelle was pushed to become more violent, and the level of violence found its way to her. And this is made super clear in chapter 4. If you've taken the Snowgrave route in chapter 2, you will receive a unique cutscene in chapter 4 when Chris and Susie are in Noelle's house. After trying to find the bunker code in the old guitar, Chris pulls out the heart and stuffs it into a drawer. It's at this point that we start behaving real sus and vent. While moving around the vents, we can hear a conversation between Chris and Noelle. She says that last night...
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I don't... Did I mishear something? Or were they like, oh, because they talked about level of violence applying to Noelle, and I mean like, oh, this is really clear in this scene. And like, was she violent in the scene? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, she was very violent.
Don't you remember the scene where she pulls out a gun on Chris? She shoots Chris.
I have something for you.
No.
Like, the thing is in general, I think the statement and like the general idea that level of violence. We're making Noelle a bit more violent and thus bloody blah. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go on to something like the Soul will use Noelle at their next vessel or whatever.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I will say, it like we just said, it's not clear in the scene, especially since level of violence is said to be how willing you are to hurt people.
Yeah, it's not how violent you actually are.
It's not how violent you actually are. Like Noelle, I'm gonna say basically kills, since like Bradley's catatonic.
But it's not well.
I'm gonna say he's basic. I'm fine with using the terminology of killed.
Yeah.
But Noelle does violence. Noelle hurts people, but it's not because Noelle wants to, and it's not like Noelle feels any.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know if level of violence is a thing in Deltarune. I think LV does specifically. A role can stand for love. I don't think it stands for level of violence, and I think it is also meant to be levels, as the characters in Deltarune seem to have a bigger knowledge of RPGs than the characters in Undertale.
I think if there was any reference to level of violence in Deltarune, I would specifically say it was more in the sword route.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no. I think that's what I was gonna say, but I forgot now. Oh well.
She saw Chris, the real Chris, who told her that everything was all okay. Until
okay.
That's so funny.
You were caught off guard by Noelle dancing.
Noelle that the events of chapter 2 weren't a dream like she thought. Chris then puts the thorn ring back onto Noelle's finger.
Okay, I know. I guess Chris does do it. Like, they are the one to do it. I think you should say that we put it on.
Specify that we do it.
Because like Chris didn't do this.
We do, a red crack appears on the screen. This moment is us, the heart. We are the ones trying to control Noelle, forcing her to use her magic, helping her to find.
It's just the language was a bit off for a second.
And
that's fine.
As chapter 4 continues, we see these actions take effect. In the Dark World, when Susie goes ahead, Ralsei suggests instead of us going on ahead, we think of someone. If we choose to think of Noelle, the screen turns black and a small red dot with the words "thank you" appears. Then at the very end of chapter 4, the screen fades to black.
I haven't seen this stuff. I haven't got to this part of the video.
Dot appears, but this time it's bigger. The red dot is Noelle's heart forming, love finding its way.
Oh, that's a cool thought, actually.
As the prophecy said.
Okay, yeah. No, hell yeah.
This is pointing to Noelle.
The idea of the crack being us like infecting Noelle with like the soul. I haven't heard that theory before.
I have.
Oh yeah, you have?
I actually have, yeah.
Oh wait, really?
I talked about this with you, but I think I explained it really, really poorly. Where when we were talking about, like, you were talking about the change to the cracks in the weird room, right? And I was talking about how, like, oh yeah, apparently I read a theory that apparently the dot's basically meant to be like a growing heart.
Oh no, you did mention that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then like and then you said it doesn't really look like a heart, and I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Okay, now that I know that it gets bigger at the end, that makes more sense.
I kind of explained it really bad.
No, that's fine. Okay, I was going to give them props for having a really cool idea, but like again, this it's already been I used to give Game because like this was like a big complaint for Game Freak like in the past, where sometimes they would just say ideas and use theories and use evidence that people have already got like big documents on, and then just kind of like go like, oh yeah, this is our theory, and I guess it could be possible that they just so happen to come to the same conclusion as everyone else.
Yeah, because the thing is, when I was younger and I watched Game Theory, like I would have heard these theories before, or when Game Theory said them, and I thought like, oh, they're just stating this popular theory again because like they're trying to show more people that this theory exists.
Yeah.
But like now that I have a bit more of understanding of like how crediting works,
and now that I know that credit exists,
now that I know that credit exists.
When I was younger, I was like, oh, I guess it's kind of hard to like come up with a fully original theory for a game. But now that I make theories, I would like to say most of my theories I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
Like most of that's what I pride myself on. Like I like making theories that are completely unique to me, and just like because like anything you create has a part of yourself in it. That's like the phrase. That's like the thing.
Yeah.
So I like because like all of my theories are the way I like to tell stories, obviously mixed in with the way Toby would tell stories and what Toby would want.
I think personally, like, I think it works a lot better for you because as I find that your theories really do go more into speculative territory,
Yeah.
which I think really works.
Mm.
Whereas the thing is with game theory, since so many people watch them and so many people have their own personal ideas on how the story will go, they can't really go into
Yeah,
speculation
that's
and
fair.
only really talk about the objective facts.
No, that's a fair point. Honestly, yeah, no, that's a valid point. I don't know. I don't know. It just it feels. I feel like they could either make theories that are more original, or
Yeah.
just simply go, oh yeah, this theory has already been stated by a user
I think
inside.
that'd be a good idea. Like, it's not a terrible thing to like do a collection of cool, interesting theories, and if you have more evidence,
Yeah.
add that to the theories.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfectly fine video idea. It's just that you also would need to talk that you'd also need to say that okay, it's like this person came up with this theory idea.
And like, I'm not refuting the fact that maybe Game
Yeah,
3
they could
came
have
up
just stick with the same theory.
came up with
Like,
theory.
you have the same information, you have the same general storyline.
It
That's fine.
just feels weird, especially since the fact that the phrasing you used when you first explained to me was like a heart is growing, a heart is growing inside of Noelle, right?
Yeah.
You said you didn't you specifically say a heart is growing inside of Noelle? I'm trying to remember. Is that what like the original theory said? Like a heart is growing in Noelle.
Basically, it was a general idea that the overall theory was that through the weird route, we are basically priming Noelle to be our next vessel, and
Yeah.
through that, the little red dot slowly growing throughout the chapter is growing. Like,
Because like this is like
this is a thingy thing.
I don't know if this is it.
Let me try and find it because
Yeah, if you can find it. Should
yeah.
I pause recording and might go grab a drink?
Pause recording. We'll finish the video and I'll see if I can find it afterwards. Okay.
Okay, I'll pause this quickly. Alright guys, we've done some research. By we, I mean Curtis and I went to go get a drink.
But yeah,
Let me open this.
So we found this
original
one
post.
month ago. So
Rotorship. I'm guessing wait, was this before chapter? No, it wasn't. No, it can't have been before. Okay. So I thought this was before it came out for a second. I was like, damn, that's impressive. But,
they know the future. Yes,
yeah,
like in the new sweepstake page with a red dot and a thank you. After this, the screen turns red, blah blah blah. Three screens.
Hang on, let me just go through for a second. I'm guessing this is not the one that has the other images.
Let me
open. Can I open this like this? Yes, I can. Cool.
Yeah.
We also did this one, which literally
it's literally the exact same theory.
is.
And then there were some comments on the video that also added basically the supplementary information to that theory.
Yeah, let me open this again also. I will be linking these posts in the description if you want to have like a big closer read. But yeah, no, this is basically just Game 3. Again, if somehow...
They have my battery percentage in that image. No, I've been doxxed.
What?
My battery's in that image.
Oh,
they're gonna find out where I am.
They're gonna locate you based on your signal.
No.
No, but yeah, I'm not okay. If by the tiniest chance that someone from Team Theorist actually is watching this, number one, leave a comment cleaning stuff up, obviously. And number two, we're not really we're not like saying you're in the wrong. We're just saying we're just like pointing out what we see, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're theorizing.
We're theorizing.
No, but as you said earlier, At least they looked at the community.
Specifically, the Snowgrave route being part of the prophecy. The Snowgrave route.
I just want to point this out. I'm sure this has been pointed out a billion times. Wow, this is so blurry. Let me go back a bit. The quality went down so much.
Hi, Noel.
This is pointing to Noel, and more specifically.
Do they have a filter? Yeah, they have a filter over this. Okay, sorry. They have like a not VHS. You know what I mean?
The thingy, the like
Yeah.
chromatic.
Because I saw that on the snowflakes, like, oh, that's interesting. It looks like that, but no, it's just whatever effect they're using, I guess, on this.
It's either that they have a filter or it is just shit quality.
It
could be.
Is the canon series of events.
What? Sorry, was I zoning out for a second?
The Snowgrave route is the canon series of events.
Finding its way to the girl, just as the prophecy said it would. All of this is pointing to Noel, and more specifically, the Snowgrave route being part of the prophecy. The Snowgrave route is the canon series of events.
Okay, counter argument. Big counter argument. The point of the prophecy is no matter what you do to break it, it reappears somewhere else. So, logically, the Snowgrave route is just filling out the prophecy, but using in a different way. So in the normal route, love finds way to the girl is Noel and is Susie finding Noel. In the weird route, love finding the girl is Noel, LV type stuff. If that makes sense.
Question.
C.
Do you drive in Queen's car in the weird route?
No, you don't. No, you don't. I remember seeing that earlier. Yeah, no, you don't. So the weird route isn't canon.
Because the prophecy actively states that the Queen's chariot cannot be stopped.
Which is,
And that's referring to Queen's car.
The king's van cannot be stopped.
No, Azagor, please!
Death, dodge.
Death, just fucking dodge.
God,
Swoon the car, Death.
If Death was good, Death would just parried the van.
Yeah, simple.
No, but I disagree with this. I'll hear him out. I'll hear the theorist team out on this. But I personally disagree with the idea of specifically the weird route being the actual prophecy, because
I think like I'm fine with like both being true.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But saying that the weird route is the canon and like the event, the way things play out, I don't agree with.
Can I just say, having there be a canon route and a non-canon route is such a FNAF way of looking at this. Like, because like Undertale, I guess like people accept the true pacifist as the canon route, but Toby has made it clear that whatever ending you get is your canon ending.
Yeah.
But I guess it is the canon ending in the fact that it's the ending that Toby, like, the characters from that ending are the ones we like interview or the alarm clock dialogue and stuff like that. But no, I don't think looking at one as being canon and one as being not canon is wrong.
It's how it goes.
Also, like, the prophecy is more correct in the normal route. Also, the whole thing is, in a normal route, Rouse is like, I wish there's a way we could change the prophecy. In a weird route, Rouse is like, maybe changing the prophecy is a bad thing. Implying that you've changed the prophecy in the weird route.
Maybe you just stop hanging out with Noel, Chris.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, he's literally like...
Just
stop this, please, thanks. Anyway, let's go.
Please.
Even though
I'll let you buy my plushies for half off.
We were able to make. Toby Fox is once again showing us that it was destined to be. This is also
it's not.
by the night.
It's not. I can just choose not to do it.
I think it's destined to be unless you don't do the extremely specific things to cause it to happen.
I can just choose not to do the weird route.
I feel like the weird route is the weird route because it's weird and it's not supposed to happen. So to say that's the one that's supposed to happen would go against the weird route. I don't understand this theory. We went from going like, oh, this theory is listening to the community so much, it feels like it's stealing from the community, to this theory isn't paying attention to the games.
It's amazing. Also, hey, we got the night back.
Oh, yeah, that's back. Okay, that's the time tonight. Okay, I see. Also, I guess your choices don't matter, as in like this is the
Like,
ending.
this is an ending.
But like I
But, like,
guess
I could just
maybe
choose not to do the weird route.
look. Here's the thing. What I can actually think of a way to make this work, but there's zero chance of them saying this because I refuse to believe they know enough about Deltarune to even know of this theory. But there's a theory that has been popular for like since chapter 1, which is the time loop theory.
Oh yeah.
That is like once you get to the end of chapter 7, it goes back to chapter 1, which is why Chris has a save.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if that's the case, then maybe the only way to not do a time loop is the weird route, making that the canon ending, if that makes sense. Because no matter how many times you get the normal route ending, it will always end. It will only ever be able to fully end in a weird route.
If you one other thing I want to mention, but like my brain has just suddenly and mysteriously gone blank. What am I trying to say?
What are you trying
Well,
to say?
recap the events so far right now. Let me
The
think.
theory?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your choices don't matter. Then it was Death is the Night. Then it was Noelle is the girl.
Oh, right. Okay. Like, once again, your choices don't matter in the general sense. Like, I can see them tying that in by saying like by doing the theory that like, oh, no matter if you choose the weird route or the normal route, the ending is still the same.
Yeah.
If they say that, then I can kind of see, oh, your choices don't matter as tying into things. But the thing is, once again, your choices, like, I get that it's not the general idea of like, oh, it affects the end of the game, but your choices are still affecting people. Your choices are still changing things.
Your choices matter to change the context of what ending you get.
At the very least, we can already say there has been a reasonable change from our actions by saying the fact that we're going to the festival with Noelle.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know why they brought that up because everything else they've said goes against that. And like it would make sense if they're like, oh, that's actually false, even though it's set up to be true. But the thing is, they just have. I guess we still have like 7 minutes. Yep. But like, if they don't bring back your choices don't matter and prove it to be wrong or prove it to be true, maybe then I'm just gonna be very confused why they even mentioned that. Because it's just gonna be confusing to people. Because if it's for people who haven't played the game to say that is a theme, then it would be confusing to bring up because nothing else in the theory lends itself to that.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's odd. Yeah, okay, well, let's continue.
Roaring. The roaring is what will summon the heroes and force them to banish the angels' heaven. Banish us. Just like Chris, they want us gone so that their sister is left alone and safe. Which explains why we see both of those characters working together throughout
the chapter. No, sorry,
Chris
you're right.
receives some mysterious messages from their phone, which are implied to actually be the night. And
what?
I've always just like this because the only characteristic of the night we've got is they don't talk. Is she doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Right?
And also the night is like you said that Jess is the night, and the voice on the phone is very clearly trying to be Carol.
Yeah, I feel like the voice is Carol. Okay. Also, can I just point something out? This isn't like a problem. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just really funny to me that the first time they use pronouns on the night, it's he, him. Then they reveal Des to be the night, and then they start using they, them on the night. And I'm like, why did you do?
They used she once.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no issue. I still don't understand why they said like used he, him on the night at the beginning. What was the point of that? Was is it a lot of like Rudy believers? Were you trying to like lead them astray?
Yeah, I am just a fucking. I am just not normal, but I'm gonna have to show you something after this video.
Okie dokie. Have you heard about Chester Holiday, by the way?
Chester
Holiday. Yeah, Chester.
Chester Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Chester Holiday when you sent Chester Holiday, and I went crazy. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Chester Holiday's dead, by the way, like officially. The creator got hate for creating him, so they stopped making the character. From what I'm aware of, it was just a mod that added Chester Holiday to the holiday house, and that's it. It was really funny, to be fair. It was really funny. And it's kind of a shame they got hate for it, because, like, why? What's the issue with Chester?
It's too funny.
It's
too
too
funny.
good. They're jealous.
Too good.
Anyway, Tom Holiday, continue your theory.
If you manage to defeat the knight at the end of chapter 3, they will
Don't call him Tom
literally
Holiday.
like Chris.
Yeah.
Chris wants us removed from their body, but
Truth.
they also clearly hate what we are doing to Noel.
Sorry, I thought it was saying
Putting
they
us in
hate
a
Noel.
trash can and kicking the
I thought the
living
same.
daylights out of us after we put the thorn ring back.
Okay, this might be an unpopular take. I don't think in a normal route Chris hates us. They definitely don't want to be controlled by us. But I think we have an uneasy alliance with them.
Yeah. Chris has a lot of uneasy alliances aside from with the knight.
I mean, that's like what my theory is supposed to be about. One of the files got corrupted, which is why I didn't release today, as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I hate it when that happens. It keeps happening. I think, yeah, I don't know why that happens, but I'm going to try and make that. I probably will release 2 theories next week to make up for that. Because I have a music theory I really want to make, because it's a really good theory. And it's already, like, really written the script, but I think I saw a post from, like, Shay on Twitter that kind of mentioned what I wanted to mention, so I want to make it before anyone else does now. Because I'm scared of someone else making it before me.
Yeah.
Anyway, time to like, theory.
On her
Time to theory,
it's
guys.
their goal to bring about the roaring and force us, the angel, away from them
Okay.
and the lives of their friends. But then, where does all of that leave our monster girl Susie?
Oh, yeah, where's
Is she
Susie?
just gonna get sidelined? Not
Wait.
exactly.
Wait. Can we go? Can we
Oh,
go back
spooky
a little bit?
dude! Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, it's...
Back a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, please. So the general idea is that the knight is going to bring about the roaring.
Yep.
So that they banish us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Okay. And so, like, my main thing is, so we can generally assume that Chris knows what the knight is doing.
Yes.
Right. And like, I can understand, like, I don't know, obligation to your friends in a way.
Yep.
But if Chris understands why the knight is doing this, Chris cares about Noelle, and Chris knows that in the end, once the roaring happens, it banishes us.
Yeah.
Why is Chris trying to steal the Dark Fountains?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, I know that there are explanations for why Chris is trying to steal the Dark Fountains. I know, like, there's a general idea of, like, Chris is just doing it because, like Susie and Rolsey are doing it and something like that, and that kind of general idea. But the thing is, if that's the case, I would have really liked it to be said in the episode, in this video.
I also would like to point out the fact that the Roaring and Angel's Heaven have always been referenced as 2 separate things.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have enough evidence to say that the Roaring will cause the Angel's Heaven, because the Angel's Heaven has always felt like a dark world created by the angel to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, what would...
It's the angel's heaven.
Because, like, it's not... If it was banishing... It's not banishing the angel. It's banishing the angel's heaven.
So we're sealing the angel's heaven, aka the dark world.
Or, I guess, if we're the angel, it is banishing our world. Like, where we're from. Like,
I guess that would be, like... Like, that general idea implies to me that the angel's heaven is Deltarune.
Yeah... It might be it might be just Gasta's house, and
Gasta!
Gasta just Gasta gonna take blasted to death.
No, Gasta, why?
What? I really want to see where Gasta is. That's like the one thing I really want to see. Because, like,
where's Gasta?
Because they're watching us. Do they just... Is it like in the most recent episode of the Digital Circus where Kane is just watching on like an old TV?
I did like the idea. Gas has like a little drone camera and it's following us
That's
about.
our point of view. It's a drone. Anyway, Thomas, continue that theory.
Monster girl Susie. Is she just gonna get sidelined? Not exactly. In chapter 3, when you're allowed to play the 8-bit minigame, there is a secret ice palace you can travel
It's so
to.
true.
On the door
Yippee.
is the Deltarune symbol, but it's slightly...
Why is it Deltarune off center? Why is it off center?
One of the Deltarune off center, and it's got a
Wait.
little body. It's got a little body.
Do you know
They
what
just got a little.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Wait, why is it got a body?
They just got a little thing.
Because the thing is, that annoys me is the triangle at the bottom is like centered properly. There's no reason that Angel shouldn't be in the center right now.
Also, those wings are shit.
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
gonna say,
this is
those wings are shit. They
God.
look like
Eram, you pick up your game.
Jeez, Eram, update your graphics.
Yeah, no, that's so. Also, the fact that one of the triangles is so much slower is interesting in comparison to this one.
Yeah.
To the one on the right side of the screen.
Although I will say, I'm pretty sure in every single version of the Deltarune, it's a little bit different. I've seen.
Yeah, I think this is the most different.
The ones in the fucking church. Actually, the triangles are like super fucking elongated.
Yeah, I think that's just their windows. To be fair, like they're long
That's-
windows.
And also, like, the thing is, every time I see it, I just see Asriel's body.
Yeah, that's fair. I just find it. Yeah, no, you're so right. Why does it have a body? Why?
Like, what?
Oh, hey
what's it
guys,
called?
it's got a gown. Actually, it's Noelle.
It's Noelle.
You see, that looks Noelle,
And if you
and there's
cut it-
antlers. There's antlers.
Yeah, those are Noelle.
Oh no, it's antlers. They're just melting.
They're drooping it down a bit.
They're
No, wait. I love the idea that when if Noelle's the angel, right? Right, if Noelle has like a fucking magical girl transformation, her horns just grow to like 15 times the size, and like she
Yeah.
can't get up.
She just falls over. She collapses and dies. Also, why is there a little guy here?
It's a little smiley face.
I can't really show it on my OBS because my mouse is sharp. But
Yeah,
like
fair.
to the right of the door, there's just like a couple of smiles in some of the rocks. What's the
It's
picture and
fine.
see if you can see it?
It's because it connects value.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Also, this one looks like a weird like frog thing with like closed eyes. I don't know.
Frogget.
It's frogget. Oh my god.
It's pretty hard to see because, well, it's 8-bit, but the symbol actually has 4 triangles.
Oh, damn.
Instead of the usual 3.
We predicted
Before now,
it.
we believed the 3 triangles
Yeah.
represented Chris, Susie, and Rolse, the
Okay.
3 heroes. But now we're being shown
Susie's
four
the
people are
angel.
part of this, and that's actually reflected in the prophecy too. It's just that Susie, and by association we,
That
have been
Rose,
pointing
right?
to
Why did she look like that?
Susie, your iris is connecting to your eyebrow, girl.
You have 3 eyebrows.
Girl, is everything
the girl
okay?
that Susie belongs to.
She
Do you need
looks-
to go to bed?
She looks like she's dying.
And the second time at the end.
Oh yeah,
Was the girl at and last was the girl at last was the girl.
I think that's probably Susie. That could be Susie because that's like the Rude Buster.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, yeah, fair.
Is mentioned twice in the prophecy.
That's fair.
Once as
No,
the
no.
second hero, and the second time at the end. At last was the girl. This is a list of characters. First, the vet.
Wait. And last was the girl. At last was the girl.
The thing is, I feel like I would have noticed this. So the problem that I have with it is the fact that
It's fake.
in my brain, I'm absolutely sure there was some sort of gap between this and the list.
I can't remember the order off the top of my head right now.
I think we need to replay chapter 4. I
Yeah.
need to actually play chapter 4.
Oh yeah, you haven't
So,
played before yet, have you?
when I do that, I'm gonna look at
Yeah.
it. Because the thing is, I feel like okay, either like I'm misremembering the order, and it actually went Chris, Rolse, Susie, and then Susie again, and in that general statement. So if it was Noelle, it would be Chris, Rolse, Noelle, and Susie. Because the thing is, I feel like that's the only way we wouldn't have noticed
Yeah, that's fair.
that the girl was mentioned twice and there was a break between.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
was the girl. This is a list of characters.
Wait, no, I swear this one came first.
Yeah, like the thing is, I don't think this is correct, and I feel like if it was a list of characters, we would have noticed.
I swear it
would've
goes
noticed
and last was the girl. At last go, the girl with hope crossed on her heart. That's
Yeah.
no, that's the way it went. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Get really
yeah,
angry.
get destroyed.
I don't remember.
First the vessel, second the girl, third the prince, and
That's not the...
And also that doesn't fit the theme. That doesn't like it's the first hero, the second hero, the third hero, and then just not a hero, I guess. Just
Go.
a girl.
Because, like, I guess that means Susie isn't a hero. I guess that would make...
I don't know, because the thing is, the general, like, from what we can generally read, right? When we were told the prophecy in the first chapter, the general sounding of the prophecy I think was made to specifically match the events of chapter 1. Because I was like, we talked about, the angels of heaven sounded just kind of like a dark fountain.
Yeah.
So us banishing the angels of heaven was just sealing the card castle's dark fountain, right?
Yeah.
We can generally say that. And the thing is these heroes who banished the angels' heaven, Noelle wasn't one of them.
Well, I guess I don't think the Dark Fountain and Angels of Heaven are always the same. I think it's a thing of the angels. All the Angels of Heaven is a dark fountain, but not every dark fountain is the Angels of Heaven.
No, I understand that completely, right? It's just that I'm saying that, like, in the theming of chapter 1, right, before any of the chapters released, I think the prophecy was made by Toby to sound and match the events.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's fair.
And so us banishing the angels' heaven in quotation marks could just be seen as us sealing the dark fountain. And Noelle was not one of those heroes who sealed the dark fountain.
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair.
And so that's why I think, if anything, Susie would at least be counted as a hero.
Yeah, because Susie did what the prophecy said for her to do.
Yeah.
I get it. And the thing is, it'd be weird. It'd be weird for Susie to break the prophecy in chapter 1.
Yeah.
And if she breaks the prophecy, then she has to be important in some way.
Because the thing, like, the only thing I could think was that, like, the only thing that I think that would kind of make that make sense for me is something that they're not saying. Because the only way that makes sense to me is that if Susie has just replaced Noelle entirely in this story, that in the entirety of the prophecy, the girl is always meant to be Noelle.
Yeah.
But in Deltarune, the game that we actually play, it's Susie.
But right now they're saying, like, the Weirdrew.
They're both here. The Weirdrew. Everyone is here.
Yeah, the Weirdrew is the kind of the way the Weirdrew works right now is the way the prophecy said it should work, which wouldn't make sense, since that would mean that Susie was supposed to be the girl who joined the party in chapter 1, which wouldn't make sense because that would then make Susie the second hero, not Noelle. But if it was that Susie broke it, then the Weirdrew shouldn't have gone the way it does. So the thing is, this theory, it feels like it's taken multiple theories and just made
like an amalgam.
like an amalgam of a theory without actually really caring about how.
Like, the thing is, once again, it stems from the problem that, like, game theory never presents their videos in, like, any form of speculation. If they weren't mentioning every single little bit of this game, including, like, it's a thing that, like, I've found with game theory that's sometimes just, like, kind of annoying, where, like since they don't present their theories as speculation, you kind of like take everything as, like, these are like perfectly fine ideas to take from these series of events, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then leave out things that disprove this theory, things that don't fit in.
Yeah, I try to whenever I have a problem, to go oh, this is an issue of my theory, because I like to build on it.
Yeah, because it's fine. It's fine to have things that kind of like don't really fit, because once again, the story hasn't fully come out yet. There are things that could come out to fix this theory.
Yeah.
And so, like, pointing out things, saying like, oh, this doesn't work, or this kind of like makes an issue with my theory, it's fine. But if you don't add that context, and if you present everything you're saying as like completely like what it is, it's like, I don't.
Because right now the theory, it feels like they've got multiple ideas, but they couldn't figure out how to piece these separate ideas into one idea. So they're just going from one idea to the other without any real connection between the two, and they just act like they automatically connect when in reality they just don't really work together that well.
Also, like, I'm gonna say this is, I just realized something that's kind of annoying to me.
What?
It's not anything to do with the theory.
Oh.
Well, kind of to do with the theory because of the last one, since I'm pretty sure they like rearranged the way the prophecy is told. But I just realized that in the prophecy, they changed the punctuation every time. It ends with an exclamation point for Chris,
That's
ends with a full
important.
stop for Susie, and then for Ralsei, Ralsei doesn't get a full stop. It seems like Ralsei is meant to continue.
Yeah. Also, the exclamation mark for Chris is because did I send you the really good tweet? Hang on, did I send a really funny tweet about this? I don't know if I did. Let me scroll through DMs and see if I can find it. I don't think I did.
Check, like you can just click on myself and look at media.
Oh no. Let me find it in my DMs with my other friend. Because I know I sent it to them. Because we had a whole conversation about stuff like this afterwards. Here. Credits to these people on screen now, obviously.
Yeah.
But the idea that the reason it's like this is because this is Gastus writing it, and they're just really excited about us getting to play with a vessel. I just really like this idea. It's just fun, and it very much so like humanizes Gaster in a way. Like Gaster has become more human.
I was so happy for you to use this vessel. Then it got discarded.
I think in my Gaster rant video that came out last week, I go over the idea that Gaster wanted us to use the vessel, but then I was like, Chris works, I guess. Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, fine. I guess.
But like, no. Also, the prophecy is written in all caps with like it going down a line.
It's typically like it's the kind of Gaster. It's the Gaster.
Also, the use of speech, the cage with human soul and parts.
Yeah.
That is Gaster coded.
That's gas.
I'm surprised they didn't make a Gaster theory for the first one. Gaster is such like an easy
thing to talk about.
Yeah, because like you can't be proven wrong really at this point.
You can't really, because literally anything can happen. Also, I think directly after this, like if I'm not too tired, I might actually just play chapter 4.
Yeah,
I want to know why Rosé doesn't have a full stop. I want to see what comes after it.
Yeah.
Last is another.
I mean,
girl.
he might
There
mention
are two separate girls in this prophecy, and if you look into the game files, the image used behind the final girl is labeled Rudebuster.
Okay, interesting. That's cool.
Is a move
that's cool. Okay,
Susan,
that's actually really good evidence.
She may not be named as one of the
like,
three heroes.
The thing is, yes, I do think that's good evidence for saying that is Susie. The thing is, one, like, you can kind of just already tell that it's Rudebuster.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You don't need to go looking into the game files for that. But aside from that, like the thing is one, I will say like the Rootbuster is naturally connected to Susie, but I don't think it would be so important that it is literally Susie's identifying feature. Specifically, since it's also said that Gerson can use the Rootbuster in the like Dual Buster move.
Can he? Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So I think by spot. Yeah, no, you're right.
So like,
it's actually Garson in the theory.
I don't think it's Garson. I don't think it's Garson. But I'm saying that I don't think, and at the very least, I don't think Toby would make the one identifying feature for Susie be something that someone else can also do.
Can I also just can I just quickly go back to an all three were on the screen there?
Yeah.
Technically, this is just something I know. Prince is usually masculine, but as recently, Prince has become more and more of a like neutral term.
Yeah.
So really, these two are the only two to actually be gendered properly. I don't know what that means. I just want to point it out.
It's weird. It is interesting. It's weird.
Which is specifically because Prince alone in Deepest Dark is interesting Because
it's so, like, once again, and I think it's with the girl, but to a less extent, that it's so vague.
it is so vague. It is like Deepest Dark. Would you even? It's not even saying it's a darkener.
Yeah,
It's not even a darkener. It's just a prince who is in dark area.
like that is actively. Well, I don't ever think Ralsei says that it has to be a darkener. I think, like, in the original,
A
it just
prince
says
from the dark.
Prince of Darkness.
No, a prince from the dark. I think.
I think it's for a prince. Okay, Prince from the Dark. I think that's what it was.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, well, it could be Rousey. The fact that Rousey refuses to use fire for the most part, and this has fire. Like, Rousey uses fire one time to light up a room. I don't know. Rousey has a lot of stuff going on right now, especially with them being able to fly.
Like, that just caught me so off guard.
Also, can I just say, okay, not to be like a hater, why is the editing like, what is happening on screen?
This
Like-
is the ship, Tom and Susie.
No, I mean, only like, why is there like light coming from the corners and like fireflies?
I cannot believe my eyes.
God, not again.
Also, like, when I saw the screenshot before this, like when you saw it on your timeline, I immediately thought, oh my, like, I don't know why, because I know it's not true, but my brain immediately went, is he trying to say that Susie's the knight?
Oh yeah, because of the sword. What does the sword mean? What does that thumbnail actually mean? Why is it a sword and a stone? Is she becoming the prince?
Not a hero, because Susie doesn't use a sword, but
Wait.
Noelle does.
Oh, Susie's the prince in the dark because like you take out the sword with the stone and you become the king.
You become King Arthur.
Yeah, oh, that's not how princes are. Sorry, I forgot how princes work. Oh my god. Susie's going to be the main boss of chapter 5, I guess.
I know what that role is. You see, in chapter 4, Ralsei confesses to Susie that he was intentionally keeping part of the prophecy a secret. Susie manages to
Ralsei,
get
why?
ahead and read it, but before we are able to read it, Susie
Susie,
smashes the
don't!
glass and starts laughing. She says that she or Chris would never let that happen. Whatever is on that last panel was something that Ralsei was worried about Susie and Chris seeing, and clearly it has an effect on Susie. Throughout the chapters, Susie has always struggled to accept reality, constantly denying whatever.
Whoa, no. Susie's been actually really good at accepting reality. We all thought Susie was going to be bad, but Susie's like, yeah, okay, you're not real. That doesn't matter though.
But you're
That's
real to me.
That's not accepting reality. That is just looking at reality going, hey, I'm going to have a positive spin on this. Like, you could almost say she has
like,
hope on her heart.
It's almost like she's hopeful. It's almost like she's just saying that I know you're not real, but you're real to me. I think of you as a good friend, despite the fact that you're a Dark Knight. It's fine.
Yeah, that's not like her ignoring
like,
reality.
She's not saying, "Oh, come on, Ralsei, why don't you just come to the festival with us?"
She
not like a fuck here.
She accepts the fact that they are what they are, but she's like,
Yeah.
well, just because this is what you're created for, doesn't mean that's what you should be.
Yeah.
And Ralsei proves her right by having emotions. Ralsei has emotion. All the darkness have like complex emotions.
Yeah.
Which
Ralsei,
shouldn't be
like,
possible.
Things. Ralsei has likes and dislikes. Ralsei does stuff.
Ralsei's
is
greedy and wants all the plushies.
Ralsei's evil.
Ralsei's evil, and you can't be evil without emotion. No, I love Ralsei. I love Ralsei, guys.
Stop saying it like that. You sound like you're defending yourself.
Guys, you have to understand.
No, Ralsei, guys, you don't understand.
No, but yeah, I don't know. That's a bad take, I think.
Like, and the specific thing is, like, the thing is, what Tom's saying works specifically with the footage that he's showing right now.
Yeah.
Like, Ralsei saying, "Oh, I'm not real," and Sue's saying, "I can see you. I can." I was about to say, I can touch you. Like,
I can. But what did she say? Hang on.
Like, I can see you. I
Oh,
can
she
feel
does.
you. So she does say.
Okay,
I
she
can
does
hear
say.
you.
It just sounds weird in my head.
So, like, yes, you can say in this specific part, like, Susie is denying reality, air quotes. But like,
For like 1 second.
That's the very beginning of chapter 3.
I feel like if she part of this, like, yeah, makes sense. That would be weird, but if the fact she has a tiny bit of pushback and then accepts it, but puts a positive spin on it, shows that she's not denying reality. She's just accepting reality. She's the opposite of denying. She's literally
accepting reality
she's gone
as it
through
is.
all stages of grief.
She's also just saying that role saying means something
Yeah,
to her.
that's not real.
That's
No,
all
wrong.
it is.
No, Susie, you're not supposed to do that.
Susie, you're denying reality. Role say can't mean
Susie,
something.
you're being too happy, and that's not reality.
You're being too happy. Stop.
Okay, let's see what happens next.
Right.
For this
What's happening here? Oh, I think the border's like slightly creeping over the edge.
time feels different. It's not an angry defiance. It's uncomfortable, like, haha, but that's not gonna happen, right? And then she quickly tries to change
I don't think
the
that's right.
subject. So what did it say? Well, the lines before this talk about a final tragedy unveiling, meaning that whatever the destroyed panel said is revealing that tragedy. The ultimate tragedy that I could think of, one that would definitely make Susie uncomfortable, would be the death of a beloved character.
Okay.
And I believe that
In a while.
character...
I thought it was gonna show. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it says that Susie isn't the hero of the prophecy.
Oh,
Which would be
the
really.
final fails. Susie didn't do shit.
It was important. Which would be funny for like
Which
multiple
is a lie.
reasons. Because that'd be funny. Because like the prophecy, like it's just gaslighting Susie the whole time. Then like, what the hell was the point of all of it?
The girl did shit. The girl did nothing.
Anyway, also the final strategy unveils. Technically, it's already unveiled if Susie knows it. I guess not really. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's see who they think. Is it Susie?
Like the final tragedy unveils the death of a beloved character. Yeah, it's not Susie, since he said it's something that would definitely make Susie uncomfortable. So he's gonna say, well, something happened to Noelle.
Well, you have to realize that right now on screen it's a silhouette of Susie. So I think it might be Susie.
Fine. Let's just see.
Herself. I mean, at
Oh,
the very
fuck.
end of the chapter,
Never
she
mind.
starts to tell
Told
Chris
ya.
what she really
I know how
feels,
gay you
and
are.
it feels very finite, almost like it's her ending monologue, her coming to terms with the reality that is set before her, like she's going to die and is letting
What?
Chris know how she
What?
really feels
Wait,
and
what?
how she does.
Wait, how can go back?
Almost like it
Okay, so
really
this
starts
is
to
the
tell
ending
Chris how she
monologue.
Can I
feels.
tell you?
And it feels very
As you might have.
almost like it's her ending monologue, her
No matter
coming
what,
to terms with the
I
reality
want
that is
to
set
keep being
before
friends with
her,
you, I'm
like
saying.
she's going
I actively don't think so. I
So wait.
actively don't, Susie.
This is in chapter 3, right? Chapter 4, beginning of chapter 4, right?
I think, like, the thing is, I think it's chapter...
2?
Like, the thing is, I thought with where they were going with this was, like, from what he said, I thought it was the end of chapter 4, because I don't remember what Susie says at the end of chapter 4.
Beginning of chapter 4. Well, end of chapter 4.
I thought, like, the thing is the way they're saying this is they're saying it, like, after Susie knows that she dies, she starts talking about
yeah. This is from the end of chapter 4.
yeah, I have this dream, I want to keep being friends with you guys. It's my, like, dying monologue or whatever.
My dying wish is to be friends.
My dying wish is I want to be friend zoned.
Before you continue, the reason I got so confused about where this scene takes place is why is the chapter 2 border here? Why is the chapter 2 border here?
One, yes, most definitely. And two, also the fact is, like, I feel like it's the exact same monologue at the end of at the beginning of chapter 4 as well. Like, I don't know, I can't distinguish the two.
My memory's like running blank on it.
I feel like, the only thing I remember is that, Susie says, wake up, because that goes into, like, Toriel saying wake up.
Yeah.
And if Susie's talking about a dream, maybe it is the beginning of chapter 4, so then it would make sense for Susie to say, oh, wake up.
Okay, let's just continue to see what happens.
to die and is letting Chris
Wake.
know how she really feels and how she doesn't want to move on. Ralsei is
Okay, never
also acting sketchy throughout both of these new chapters. Not only are they hesitant whenever Susie brings up the prophecy, but Ralsei also makes a point to always talk to Chris about how nice Susie is. He even does it directly after Susie smashes the glass. And I always thought that was a little suspicious. Obviously, one of the reasons Ralsei is doing this is because they know what
The thing is,
Susie
like,
isn't one of the heroes.
okay, pause it, please.
What?
The thing is, like, I was going to go into, like the crazy read into speculative territory thing, thing. And the thing is, like, naturally, I would have provided the caveat that, like, naturally, game theory doesn't really do this because, like, because of all the things that we've already talked about.
Yeah.
They don't really go into speculative territory. So when I'm talking about this, I understand why they don't bring it up. But the thing is, I don't agree with this, and now they've given me a pass to talk about it. They're talking about how dialogue is read, and that's my bread and butter. The thing is, like, once again, we've already talked about this with how Susie talks about what they saw.
Yeah.
They said, Chris and I would never let that happen, and most importantly, you would never let that happen. If Susie is talking about herself right now, if Susie is talking about her dying, and she knows that Rolsei knows that she dies, like, I understand that sometimes people get like that, but if Rolsei is talking about how kind Susie is, it feels weird to kind of almost put the blame on Rolsei for her death in that way. Because that's what it sounds like. You wouldn't let that happen to me. You wouldn't let me die, Rolsei.
And that's not that kind.
That's not that kind. That sounds like... Because the thing is, once again, we have to go in with the idea. Rolsei knows what Susie is talking about. We don't, but Rolsei knows, and Susie knows. So Susie's saying, you wouldn't let me die, Rolsei, which is basically what she's saying in that phrase, if it's Susie dying.
Yeah.
Isn't really a kind thing to say. Rolsei, and it wouldn't invite the response that Rolsei gives. Rolsei wouldn't just passively accept what Susie's saying. Rolsei would be like, I know, Susie, I'm trying, but, like, the prophecy is really hard to change, or something along those lines. He would say, like, I didn't know how to tell you, Susie. There's something along those lines. Rolsei would bring up a reason of why he kept this from Susie, why he didn't say anything, and like, that kind of stuff. I feel like, especially when it seems like, when you would say that, you'd obviously be in an emotional state.
Yeah.
Like, you'd obviously be, like, you wouldn't let me die, Rolsei. You wouldn't let that happen, and you're clearly emotional. And Rolsei would try to calm Susie down. But Rolsei doesn't. Rolsei just lets it happen. Susie goes on to seal the Dark Fountain, and he talks about how kind Susie is, and he doesn't understand.
That wouldn't work with it being Susie dying.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't think it...
There's something I was going to say earlier. We really thought they were going to say, the reveal is Susie's not part of the prophecy, when I thought that was going to be the reveal they would say. I was going to bring up that would make sense for one reason, because that would mean Rousey knows Susie isn't part of the prophecy.
Yeah.
But now they have, just right now, let me go back 5 seconds.
See, one of the reasons Rousey is doing this is because they know what we know. Susie isn't one of the heroes.
Why would they know that? Genuinely, the only time we've ever... Like, Rousey goes, you are the hero of the prophecy. You are the Susie, you're the hero of the prophecy. And then later on, she goes, I know that you're supposed to wear ribbons, Susie. Why would that be a thing if Susie wasn't a part of the prophecy? Yeah, or even if Rousey knew Susie was part of the prophecy.
Because the thing is, if Rousey knows that Susie isn't part of the prophecy, then when they bring up Noelle and what equipment Noelle can wear, which is specifically the only thing Rousey brings up about Noelle, he says, I know what equipment she can use. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. She goes, I know what equipment, which is weird, because you'd think...
Yeah, because then Rousey would know, oh, Noelle is the second hero.
Actually, yeah, Noelle can't be the second hero, otherwise Rousey would know this. Because Rousey seems to know who each person is, because they're able to figure out who can wear what.
And Rousey has a greater knowledge of the weird route, as we have kind of established.
Because, like, otherwise, Rousey would be really dumb, because they'd go like, oh, the hero's supposed to use rings, and the other girl is supposed to use axes. Hold on. Wait, Noelle uses rings? No, because that'd be weird. Like, I know Noelle was supposed to use big axes and Rude Buster.
I know Noelle did that.
Yeah, Noelle has Rude Buster, and you have Snowgrave, right? Yeah, that's right. No.
You know the Snowgrave spell, don't you, Susie?
Yeah, you use magic.
Why didn't you bust one out against Gerson?
Also, that'd be really weird, because that would mean that Rousey would probably know... Wait, does Noelle have a heal spell? I think I made that up. No, Noelle has a Pacify.
Noelle has Sleep Mist.
Yeah, Noelle has a Pacify, not a heal. Okay, never mind. But no,
Wait. No, I'm pretty sure Noelle knows Healing Prayer.
Oh, okay, let's Google this.
I think it's Ice Shock, Healing Prayer, Sleep Mist. Noelle always has Sleep Mist.
No, because it's an action. Noelle will, magic.
Let's have a look.
Let's check. Noelle, nope, that's not Noelle. You're not Noel. What magic does Noel have? No, guys. Here.
Stop.
Heal Prayer.
Heal.
Okay, where's... Oh, I guess an action isn't magic. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
You can use an action. You can use an action.
So-
I thought you were about to say, "Where's Snowgrave?" And I'm like, Cal, Cal.
Where's Snowgrave? Okay, no, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If Rousey is able to know so much about each person, they know what items they can use, they would presumably be able to know what acts they're coming up to
Spells
use.
and stuff.
And
they can
magic.
use, Yeah.
So, like, why would Rousey teach Susie heal prayer if Rousey thinks that
already knows
Susie is the second hero, and the second hero, if it's actually Noelle, would know
No
heal
kidding.
prayer. So, and also, I don't know, that's... Also, I want to mention that I like how Susie's becoming kind of like the best character out of the party, because they have the best damage, the best health, and the healing's actually useful now.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just funny to me. Wait. Okay, never mind. My bad. Sorry.
I'm just confused. I thought you were talking about I really like big red X on Susie.
This is good X.
I love this X.
This is X. Good X. Anyway.
He jumped the gun when Susie arrived and made an assumption only to realize it wasn't correct, and that she is instead the second girl mentioned. But the
Rossi wouldn't do that. Rossi memorized the prophecy. He said this.
Oh my god. Do you remember that? Okay, this is going to sound completely unhinged to everyone watching. Do you remember how I mentioned I had a dream about us reacting to a Game 3 video?
Yeah.
This part was in it. I swear. Genuinely swear. I remember... Wait, hang on. Let me replay this bit.
Are you crazy?
Hang on.
One of the heroes. He jumped the gun when Susie arrived and made an assumption only to realize it wasn't correct, and that she is instead the second girl mentioned. But the real reason he's acting so strange, I suspect...
I remember in my dream them mentioning the idea that Noah, like Rousey jumped the gun, and then realized in chapter 4 that they were wrong. Which is weird. I don't know. I guess I am a prophet.
Like, the thing is, like, you are a prophet.
Oh,
but
yeah,
also,
great.
like, the thing is, I don't think so. I don't think Rossi would
I
do
fully agree. Like, Rousey...
Like, you go first, you go first.
I say, been mentioned like 12 times really. Rousey talked about Susie being the second hero at the end of chapter 4. Which, like, if Rousey has figured it out, why would Rousey lies by omission, but never lies outright. He never actively, like, he would not do that. That's out of character. So it wouldn't make sense for him to do that.
Yeah, Rossi only ever, like, omits information. Rossi only ever just doesn't talk about things. That's literally what he said. He knows too much, and so he doesn't know how to bring it up. He doesn't know how to tell people what he knows.
I love how he goes, I know too much.
I know too much!
No, he goes, I know too much, and then he goes, okay, what's the code? And Rosie goes, oh, I have no idea. Good luck.
I have no clue.
I know too much. I know everything. And then
I know too much.
Rousey
Look,
instantly folds.
Gaster didn't give me that part of the script.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Gaster. They changed the code just the other day. Gaster doesn't know the new one.
But yeah, Rossi always like Rossi always lies by omission. He never actively lies. At least I don't think he ever actively lies. If he does, then I haven't seen it.
I just realized that I used to always find, you know, like GT Live does reactions videos, and how they're famously really long. And I've just realized we've been going for like an hour and a half on a 20-minute video.
No, it's because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. We're Deltarune theorists. Oh well, I guess I'm a Deltarune theorist, and you help with Deltarune theories.
I am a Deltarune observer.
You're an observer. You're a watcher. You're a lurker, aren't you?
Wait, don't call me that. That's mean.
You're like a Twitch lurker. People who don't speak in chat.
Oh, because I actually am.
Yeah, that's fair though.
Right. Like, let's get going.
Let's speedrun this. Let's beat it to 20 times speed.
Is because Ralsei knows of Susie's fate, that she isn't long for this world, and so he's trying to make sure however long she has left is an enjoyable experience.
Once again, okay, so Ralsei knows that there are 2 girls in the prophecy.
Yeah.
Right? Based on like, based on what we can generally tell, Ralsei knows the names of these people.
Maybe, I
Because
guess I would put I would put a pin in that because it is quite obvious that Chris wasn't the original vessel. So
fair.
I feel like unless you go, oh, Rousey knows it's someone with a soul, like the soul. Rousey knows
Yeah.
the soul, but not the name of the vessel.
Yeah. Like, the thing that I'm trying to explain here. So basically, just wondering, to your memory, since we could just be wrong, but I'm just asking for the sake of it right now.
Yep.
Oh, from your memory, do you remember anyone saying Noelle's name, like, in Ralsei's presence?
Susie asked about Noelle. Susie asked about Noelle in chapter 4,
Okay.
remember?
No, chapter 4, like, in chapter 2.
Oh, yes. Susie goes, oh, they took Noelle, like,
Okay,
which we
okay.
always made fun of, because, like, at the time, because, like, why would Rousey know who Noelle is?
Fucking Noelle!
I get now that obviously they probably wouldn't know who Noelle is.
Yeah, because like, generally, I would say, okay, I get that, like, Ralsei would only know who, like, the second girl is in chapter 2, right? So that would be, oh, okay, I can generally see, okay, so this is this Noelle, right? The second girl is Noelle or whatever, right?
Yep.
I just realized while I was saying this, how would Ralsei, like, figure out that he was wrong if he assumed Susie was the first hero?
Yeah, because nothing. Because Rousey, there's no way Rousey's a theorist like us. Rousey is not going to be putting the dots together.
I'm pretty sure, aside from the ribbon thing, saying that Susie doesn't wear ribbons, and because, like, he doesn't see Noelle wear ribbons. Like, Noelle can, but he doesn't see that.
Yeah.
And if he assumes that look, okay, I'm spinning off right now. So if he assumes that the second girl is Noelle, right, and he knows what Noelle can equip, technically what he knows Noelle can equip would be what Susie can equip, and what Susie can equip is what Noelle can equip.
Yeah.
So he thinks Susie wears ribbons, and apparently he thinks Susie uses rings and has a royal, like, has a watch or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. It's
The Silver Watch. Silver Watch.
I'm thinking Silver Watch. I'm thinking of the royal pin. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they can wear that stuff. I don't think they can wear a ring though, because the ring is a weapon. And I guess they never say the fact they know what weapons can be equipped. But I feel like, but no, they do. Rousey goes, oh, when you try to give Rousey a sword, one of the swords, Rousey goes, oh no, that's yours, Chris.
Oh no, that's yours. I can't use that.
Like, knowing what weapons we can equip. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Rousey doesn't seem to know. Seems to generally think Susie is the hero, and has the.
I would say up until chapter 2 at the very least, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing is, I think it's a bit weird. At the very least, like, in this version, right? So at some point, Ralsei knows that, like, so he figures it out that Susie isn't the hero, right?
Yeah.
Throughout chapter 2, if he doesn't know that Susie is the hero, then he knows Noelle dies and is just completely fine with that. Or, when he does figure out that Susie isn't the hero, he now knows that Susie dies, and I feel like he would have had a bit more of time grappling with that fact, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's get to the end of the story, and then we can have, like, a big chat about this whole thing in the outro. Because I don't know what they're gonna say.
Other than us ruining it by favoring Noelle over her. And actually, Noelle is a big reason why I think Susie has to die. Remember, this tragedy leads us to banishing the angels' heaven, which, as we spoke about in a previous theory, is the good ending here. We are the angel, and our actions are bad for these characters, as we've seen play out with Noelle.
Yeah, oh my god. They
Sorry.
can be bad. They're always bad for Chris, pretty much, because, like, Chris being controlled is bad.
So, like, I'm okay. We can say, in general, our actions can be seen as bad since we're controlling Chris against their will and doing things that they typically do in some scenarios. In some scenarios, we do things that Chris wouldn't do, right?
Yep.
We can say that. we also know that Chris does have the power to just take control sometimes. He does have the ability to just do his own thing sometimes. Like, we know it's not well, since they can't actively stop themselves from equipping the Thorn Ring onto Noelle.
Yeah.
Well, know that in certain cases they can't do that. Mm-hmm. They can't just take over control again. And, or at the very least, actually, no, wait, I think, it's because, like, they would have to...
They have to rip out the assault in front of Noelle, which they would need to do.
Yeah, which they don't want to do. The only thing that I was, like, contesting about is because they didn't have to do that to play the piano, fine. But I think in that case, it's just, like, I don't know, we partially give over control.
Yeah, it says you can no longer move, and then it starts playing, and it says you can move, which is when Chris does it.
Yeah. But anyway, so, that's fine. But the thing is saying that we are evil because of our actions, and saying that the Snowgrave route is the good ending because we are in the good ending, we banish us, who is evil. Throughout, the only reason we are evil in that ending is because we're doing the Snowgrave route.
Yeah, because, like, we're getting banished. It's a good end. The Snowgrave route would be the good ending because we're banished. Like, in this ending, it's a... Okay, wait, hang on.
And we get banished.
In the normal route, it's a bittersweet ending because we're getting back. We haven't done anything necessarily wrong because we're also controlling Chris against our will, technically. But obviously, Chris is more the victim.
I just wanted a little dude.
I want my little buddy, who I thought the name of. I want I just remember what we named our vessel. Little Gyatsta, but oh god, so it's such a dumb name. But no, it's such a because the thing of like we aren't necessarily. Chris is more of the villain in the normal route, which should make it bittersweet when we get banished because it's good because Chris is free, but also bad because we were also friends with Susie in a way.
Yeah.
Because but in the it's a good thing we get banished in a weird route, but I wouldn't say that means it's a good ending. Even though the bad person gets banished, all the bad stuff they did is still there. So you have it anywhere a neutral person is banished and nothing bad really happens, or a bad person is banished and a bunch of bad stuff happens. That isn't a good ending. That's just a bad ending. But a bad thing that has an okay ending.
Yeah. I completely agree with it. And the reason why I got so annoyed about that is because saying it's a good ending because we are evil is like we are choosing to do this because like I've seen the theories that say the Snowgrave route will actually be the good ending of the game, right?
That's a fair enough theory.
So, like, that's a fair enough theory. It's the fact that it's the good ending of the game because we will be banished and we are bad. The fact is, it's like seeking out. You're doing horrible things to get a good ending that wouldn't have happened if you didn't do horrible things.
Yeah, it's just like it's such a thing of like it isn't a good. I don't think it's a good ending. It's just the ending in context to the route is a good one, but in context to what that could have happened in Deltarune, it's a bad ending. If that makes sense. Yeah,
because like, I don't like the idea that in some way what we are doing to Noelle is justified.
It's justified, yeah. No, that's a bad. I don't like that. That sounds like
the reason why it annoys me.
That's actually something that one person, a point that one person would make. You know, the person who's like how Chapter 2 ruined Deltarune.
Yeah, oh fuck.
That's the type of thing they would say. God, I hate that part. That person genuinely. I see you red. No. Anyway, back to the good. This channel, honestly, Game Through, I might not agree with the series that much. At least you're not them, okay? You're good. You're at least you're not transphobic. So you guys are cool.
Yeah.
Growing in her levels of violence leads me to believe that we, the players, are growing her powers in order that during the final battle, the angelic-looking Noelle will become the perfect vessel for us to use in order to control everything.
In the good ending. That's so good.
But I also believe Susie, despite not being one of the main three, is the one that's going to save Noelle. And in the end,
I like the fact they still use this thing for that. Because that is Susie in the back behind.
That is actively Susie.
Because like they have the act, the hair, their costume.
You can't even say that's not Susie. That is just Susie.
Also, there's a statue from the prophecy of Susie that is in Noelle's room.
Oh my lord.
Being one of the main three is the one that's going to save Noelle, and in the end, the entire world. In chapter 4,
Okay,
Chris has
also,
a moment of...
one thing. One thing that I also just have to say about that is that the thing is Susie. No.
I said CC.
Oh, CC.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing is that general idea I don't think fits into how I would say at the very least Toby writes storylines.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that so in the Snowgrave route, we are actively doing it because we want to control everything and take over the world.
Do
like
I?
one, I don't think that's not really a Toby Fox like narrative.
Ooh, I'm gonna be evil and take over the world. I'm gonna take over the tri-state area.
Really, because the thing is like every time in the context of the games, we can generally say the soul as like the player's will, right?
Yeah.
And we as players we don't really have any reason to want to take over the world.
Yeah,
do
we
we?
don't like that isn't like I'm playing. Okay, the weird route is the soul just wants to see what happens.
Yeah, it's literally like because it's in a way a service to a parallel of of Untailed genocide route.
Yeah.
Whereas like you do these horrible things out of curiosity.
Also, that's what the sword route says. Like, oh, you're just doing this for fun, just see what happens, just to get everything.
To see what happens. And yeah, and like once it's because it's just a different type of curiosity. What would happen and if I killed these people, right? What would change?
Also, the weird route. Oh, continue. Sorry.
And in Deltarune's weird route, the general idea is how far are you willing to go to try and change the prophecy?
Yeah.
Which I think is a general. I think that's a generally agreed upon statement that it's basically us forcing the prophecy to be different.
Yeah. Also, I think the weird route in Deltarune is specifically supposed to reflect the idea of like a bug in a video, something that's not supposed to happen in the game, like pushing a game to its limits.
Yeah,
that's literally how Noelle describes the weird. Oh, the fact that Dragon Blazers has like an evil dark route also is interesting because that in some way means that people who made Dragon Blazers knew the weird route would happen. Which is really funny to think about. Oh, it's Toby who made it. Think about it, because Toby.
Actually, now that you talked about that, like part of my brain is starting to think. Do you think it's possible that like the weird route is hidden in some sort of subsection of the prophecy?
There's like
that
two
could
prophecies.
Also knows that.
Because like why does Rousey only know about the weird route when you're doing the weird route? Does the prophecy update to have the weird route once you do it?
I think you've talked about that before.
Oh,
I think we talked about this how maybe the reason the prophecy is not only always stays the same, but like our choices don't matter, is because the prophecy like is constantly updating.
Oh, yeah.
It updates to your choices.
It's a scam. It's not a prophecy. It's just saying what
happens.
Like,
oh yeah, this is what you were meant to do.
Yeah,
trust us.
Yeah, no, you that's what we knew that was gonna happen.
We knew that would happen.
It's like people who like say they're psychic and go, "Yep, I expected the thing that's happened to happen." Actually,
I expected you to think that I wasn't a psychic.
But no, here's the thing of, there's a thing of like, I guess it would just mean like the most likely outcome of the way events are going right now. Then
the thing is, circling back, since we got off to a massive tangent, circling back to like the idea of the soul, like wanting to take over the world or anything, like that doesn't even like really make that much sense, because once again it's like the soul is more or less an embodiment of the player's will. The only reason I can see it like Toby justifying that we did that is for like an Azrael-esque reason where we just want to keep on playing.
Yeah,
and so I guess controlling everything would be a way to do that.
But then, okay, honestly, I think that would just be going way too over like old
Yeah,
water.
it's
That's not the phrase. That's just,
retreading past grounds or
yeah, re swimming. Yeah, that's the phrase. Got ya.
swimming.
Re swimming past water.
Hell yeah. But because like yeah, that was literally just like the main conflict of Undertale in the end, in the true passes round.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of disappointed in this theory. Not because it's wrong or anything like that, but because it just I don't know. I always expect Game Theory to do like the less sort of, because with FNAF they usually do like the more disagreed with theories and go with
Yeah.
the more hot takes and theories. But this is just, it just feels like they tried to play it so safe that they ended up not actually having a theory that really means anything, and they're just using so many safe already like kind of like accepted ideas, but they're not
Yeah.
really understanding the fact that those ideas are ideas in a vacuum to each other. They're
Yeah.
not
And
ideas that join together. So trying to put them
They-
in one theory doesn't really work.
Yeah, that's literally the thing. It not only does it not work together, but through that way, like when people are making these theories, right? Like, there is an implied understanding that this is speculation,
Yeah,
and once again, that's that general tone that this is just speculation. And I
yeah.
understand game theory has that. That's just a theory, a game theory, and stuff like that. To kind of like blanket say this is just speculation,
Yeah.
and it's not not anything set in stone. But the thing is I understand, and like it's just a general thing with me that I know that game theory has a higher standard of quality that they kind of need to try and do,
Because they're the
and that's hard.
mainstream theory. Like, it's hard for them. I will admit, it's so hard for them. Also, again, off topic. Am I crazy? Are the all the borders the wrong borders? Am I going crazy? Why is
No,
it?
they are. It's
Why
all the
is
wrong
it?
ball.
Why is it chapter one? What's hap? Okay, ignoring. Maybe I'm just wrong. I haven't played on the Switch version of chapter 4.
No,
Maybe.
no, the thing is, it is the wrong borders because we saw the borders, you know, and the jockeying
Yeah,
controls.
yeah, 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 yeah. We saw the borders. You're
And
right.
we spent an absurdly long time analyzing the details on the towers.
Because they look like a gas blaster from like a full moment. Um, no, but what was I saying? Yeah, no, Game Theory, it is something that I feel bad for Game Theory is that they are the mainstream theory place. So whenever they try to make a theory on a game like Undertale Deltarune or Hollow Knight or like anything like that, that already has a big theory fan base outside of them, it becomes a thing of people go like, well, this is how people are going to be introduced to theories in this space, and you've kind of just made a theory that has nothing to do with anything else. So, and it kind of like with the original Deltarune theories, the reason they got so much backlash is because the theories were like stuff we've already the community had already talked about years, like ages ago, and people had already just got people to go, oh, this isn't correct. And then they kind of just brought it back, which meant a new wave of people thinking these things, and we had to reteach people that that's not correct.
Like just an that's just a thing that like I've talked about it earlier in this video, where the fact is it would go to so much of great lengths if in game theories videos they talked about the things that like that don't support their theory.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, that's the main thing that annoys me. Since you brought up the Hollow Knight theory, right?
Yeah, the Hollow Knight theory.
And the Hollow Knight theory had a lot of back.
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
and I understand why. And the thing is, I feel like it's a perfectly fine theory. In general, is not true, but that's the whole point of theorizing.
Yeah,
It's
just making cool ideas.
you are coming up with an idea. But the problem that comes from that is if you don't tell people like the reason why this theory doesn't work, people who don't know this genre, don't know this game, are gonna believe this stuff because that's what I
Yeah.
thought when I was younger and I watched game theory videos. I thought all of their theories were correct. Like that's like my brain automatically went, okay,
They
yeah,
definitely
that's,
have like a younger audience who won't know all these games, meaning
Yeah.
that when they get introduced to these games, you're gonna have a bunch of people with these ideas that with these ideas that this is correct because they don't actually see all the problems with it because they weren't brought up. Then when they go into community, they're just gonna like it's just going to cause a bunch
and
of
it's
unnecessary like conflict within the
it
communities.
serves to because they're gonna get like they're gonna face like backlash for repeating these ideas which other fans already know is wrong, and they're gonna be told they're dumb and stupid.
Or like not even that they're wrong, that they have already been theorized.
Yeah.
And it's just like it always sucks to see someone like the people we saw on Reddit come up with these cool ideas, and it's a bigger. It's like the idea of the whole thing of like you tell a joke, but no one hears it, then someone else says it loud, and then everyone laughs at it. It's that sort of feeling where the bigger channel said the theory, so now the smaller stuff.
I just got another big problem with this, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, what's the big problem?
My big problem is that I just realized this when I was thinking back on it. But like, the thing is, another thing that happens when you don't include the things why your theories are wrong, and also like include things that like from other people's theories and amalgam them together, is the fact that you also make the people who came up with these theories and these original theories themselves look kind of worse.
Yeah.
Like the thing, I thought that the Noel like heart thing was a really cool theory. I thought it made a lot of sense. But the thing is, I'm not even thinking about that now. I'm just thinking about how so many of these things they don't really work. And the thing is, that's just gonna leak into my brain and it's all gonna mesh together. And I'm just gonna think, in general, yeah, no, that doesn't work. This entire theory doesn't work, including the other people who were included.
Including the people who made the theory and actually used. Honestly, the people who made the theory better. This is like a worse version of multiple theories because they are like the issue with having so many different opinions and like things into one is the fact like with the death part of the video right at the beginning, right? They were like, oh, death is night because antlers and baseball bat, and also the find her song, right? Yeah. But like there is like 100 more pieces of evidence for death being the night that are way more interesting, and that's why it's an issue where you only spend 3 minutes talking about death is the night, because like number one, you have to realize. Well, okay, I have made one video. I think I made a short also, but I made one video about where I mentioned death being the night. It was my holiday theory, where I made a theory on all members of the holiday family, and then connected them together in one theory, right?
Yeah.
And instead of just making another death is night theory for death, I was like, okay, here's the evidence for death, the things against death, the evidence for Carol, the things against Carol, and why it's more likely to be death than Carol.
Yeah.
Because Carol is the second biggest contender, so it's like, I might as well use my time, instead of just repeating the thing everyone else has said, to actually try to fight against other ideas using my ideas. Rather than just repeating the same thing, and it's slowly but surely getting less and less information. And at one point to make a theory where it's like death is the night and ignores all of the evidence or things against it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. That is what happens.
It's what happens. And the thing is, especially when you like, the thing is, the evidence they use, while yes, it's the most general and pointed out pieces of evidence for death being the night, it also like I can tell it will also support people who just don't think death is the night, because the thing is, those pieces of evidence, they are so flimsy compared to everything else.
Yeah, those are
the Find Her OST. Black Knife also uses other themes from other songs, like literally every single Deltarune theme. So it uses Azrael's theme. Burning Eyes uses the Power of Neo and Undyne the Undying's theme. Of course, that's in reference to the genocide route, because it's a reference to the genocide route. But you could also say I know people will say Burning Eyes has Power of Neo in it. We're not saying that the mantle holder is fucking a Medaton, are we?
No, it's the thing is, you have to give all of the evidence to prove your point. Because if you only give a bit of the evidence to prove your point, then that makes it way easier to disprove your point, even if your point is correct.
Yeah.
Anyway,
'Cause-
I think we are getting
No,
really off track.
we need to keep going. We need to keep going.
Also, I'm crazy. One more thing. Why is it an effect over the gameplay, but not the border?
I don't know.
Anyway, move on. Come on.
Chris is actually great at playing the piano. We see it referenced time and time again throughout the game.
We know.
But while we are in control of them, they suddenly suck because we cannot play piano. However, during chapter
you don't know that about me.
Susie
You don't know that.
and tells them to play very sincerely, which leads to Chris, for a brief moment, gaining back control.
Yeah.
Playing without our inputs. Now, we know that Chris can rip out our heart and take back control of their body at any moment, but that is not what happens here, and that's why it's so special. Chris is able to gain back control while we are still inside.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good,
Susie's
interesting point.
kind and authentic words had the ability to tear Chris away from our control. And
Yeah,
I believe
that's
that
cool.
Susie is going to be able to do the same thing for Noelle. However, Noelle is clearly far more powerful than Chris. That's the whole point of the Snowgrave route, making her stronger, which means it's going to take something much bigger to move Noelle. But we do know that Noelle has a massive crush on Susie.
Okay,
So seeing her die while under our
we're
control
pausing this again, I guess. Like, okay, Noelle becoming stronger and becoming more assertive. Well, yes, it's a general point. I don't think you can really say that. Noelle is stronger in terms of like magic and power.
Yeah.
I would say Snowgrave is seemingly the strongest spell we see any Lightner do.
Which Death can also do. I did not really important, but I just want to bring that up.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, while Noelle clearly is powerful, you're not talking about power in a literal sense. You're talking about like emotional strength, which I don't think Noelle emotionally is stronger than Chris, or will be.
I actually will disagree with this.
Fair enough.
Because in the Snowgrave route, sorry, I still stuck on Snowgrave. In the Weird route of Chapter 2, Noelle has a bonus stat. That's always like in the negatives at the beginning. But in the Weird route, it actually gets really high. So it is a thing of Noelle does get emotionally stronger in the Weird route. Which is also why Noelle actually refuses to give her die control whatsoever. Like, way more violently in the Weird route than in, you know.
Okay. So, I think I do personally agree with you. It's just, I was thinking about it when you were talking about it, and like, okay, yeah, Noelle is bolder now, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I feel like, would that really correlate to the strength of our control over her?
That's weird. That's interesting. Like, it obviously is a thing we're having more control over as the chapter goes on. But like, I don't know if that I don't know. I don't know. I guess I agree. I think I agree with what they're saying. It's not the way they're saying it. That's the thing. Because I agree, it's a thing of it's going to take more to get Noelle to snap out.
I think the wording is wrong here.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I think like the way they're saying it. It sounds like Noelle becoming like bolder and basically more like headstrong and more determined to do their own thing apparently correlates to the strength of our control over her.
Which
and so it means that Susie has to put a lot more effort into getting Noelle to break through our control.
Yeah.
Which I feel like would be the other way around if Noelle is actually becoming more like headstrong rather than just submissive and doing what anyone says. Since that's literally what we want her to do. We want her to do whatever we say.
Yeah.
If we're going to take control of her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go through this video. We're 1 minute there.
Please.
I suspect that will be enough to pull Noelle back to reality, out of our control, so that the three heroes, Chris, Noelle, and Rolsei, can banish
Okay, but we're still in control. Okay.
us for good.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Prophecy follows a classic A.
Also,
B,
can
Noelle,
I
and
please
Rolsei can
just ask, why the hell do they always use the sprite of Chris holding a remote?
I just, like, the thing is, I was thinking, why does it look like Chris is wearing a metal diaper?
No, Chris is like holding the controller in this sprite. Why are they even using it?
Why? Why are they doing that?
Banish us for good. Now, the prophecy follows a classic AABBC rhyming scheme, and lines 1, 3, and 5 use 10 syllables, while lines 2 and 4 use 8. So, while this next bit is
cool.
purely
I know that.
conjecture, I'm going to
Okay,
put some money
thank
on
God.
the prophecy going a little something like this. And then,
'Cause I
when
want-
all
I
hope is
wanted to
lost
hear
for the
this.
tale, the final tragedy unveils. To save the world, there is only one way. The girl's death breaks the angel's sway. Only then will the worlds be saved. I'll admit, a lot of this is on the more speculative side.
Wait,
There is
what?
only one way. The girl's
Hold up, wait, I'm confused. Why is it?
prophecy
I thought that the
going a little
TH is throwing me
something
off.
like this. And then, when all hope is lost for the tale, the final tragedy unveils. To
Unveils.
save the world, there is only one way. The girl's death breaks the angel's sway.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm mixed on that being it.
Only then will the worlds be
Mm.
saved.
Only
The
then will
thing-
the world be saved. That isn't that a part of
What-
the actual prophecy?
Yeah, only then will the world be saved. It's literally the end of the prophecy. One thing, once again, I think would be like it's weird here again, because the thing is once again we run into that problem where like we're referring to both Noelle and Susie as the girl,
Yeah. 'Cause-
which is stupid.
yeah.
I will say it's stupid if we're referring to both of them as the girl. And also the fact is that like I once again, and it comes back to the thing where like if that's the case, Susie's reaction doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah.
The thing is, every single one and is the Deltarune like symbol, right? So
Yeah.
we don't have like it's not good like Susie's gonna see her own dead body, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, if that's the case, it's like one, I think it is aggressively literal compared to the rest of the prophecy. Because I'm not really sure if it would go straight for just saying the girl dies. The girl fucking dies. 'Cause I feel like if that's the case, like the thing is the prophecy is just like a generally known thing throughout the world of Deltarune. It's like it's like a literal like religious text in the light world.
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
know that stories and such have been based off of the prophecy.
Yeah, I will just say, it is very much so stated that they don't have all the
They don't
parts
have
of the
the whole
prophecy.
thing. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. We don't know which parts they have, which parts they don't have.
I feel like it'd be weird if they didn't have the end at the very least.
Also, I'm just gonna say this is something that's annoying me here is the fact they're going like that's what the prophecy says and that's what's gonna happen. Because the whole point of Garson's in chapter 4 was like, yeah, no, the prophecy doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, you can write your own story.
Yeah,
the rest
that's
of
the
it
whole
didn't
point of
really
chapter
work.
4 being like, oh no, the prophecy doesn't have to take place. You can write your own end. So like,
It's like the thing-
yeah.
That's really because the thing is that works in the terms of like that. Okay, yeah, it's Susie's thing. Susie is the one who's going to change the prophecy. That's like is why it's a one-on-one with Gerson and Susie.
Yeah.
Right? That's why that's generally told. And so it's weird to me that like in that way, not only because remember this is in the context that this is only the weird route, right?
Yeah, I was gonna point out like what is the normal route version of this?
This is only the weird route, and so like the idea that so apparently we're already trying to change the prophecy by doing the weird route,
But the weird route is the prophecy according to this theory.
and so Gerson is just Gerson's just crazy. Gerson doesn't know what he's on about.
This would imply that the prophecy, the soul trying to change the prophecy would cause the prophecy to happen, but the soul not trying to change the prophecy would cause the prophecy not to happen. Which
The thing is
interesting.
It's interesting. I will say that's a very Toby thing to do. I will say.
Yeah.
But
the theory isn't saying this.
The theory isn't saying this. That is true. And two, the fact is that like I guess like specifically only at the end it could change in the normal route, and although it just follows the normal things it just follows normally in the weird route.
Yeah.
And so that's fine. But it's just like it's a bit weird to have because the thing is like you have to stumble along like with the idea that someone could play through the entire game without ever knowing that the weird route existed.
Yeah, to say
And
that.
so all these
So the
these
weird route is
things-
canon
Yeah.
is weird.
so all these things also saying that the prophecy can't be changed, and the prophecy is how it is, right? And then like only having that be fulfilled in the weird route is just kind of weird to me.
I feel like the prophecy can't be changed is hinting to us that we should do the weird route, or that we should try to change it. Okay, let's just finish it. We're like basically done.
Finish it. Final tragedy.
No pausing until the end.
To save the world, there is only one way. The girl's death breaks the angel's sway. Only then will the worlds be saved. I'll admit, a lot of this is on the more speculative side.
Okay, actually admit it.
Awesome story arc it would be for Susie. The class bully turned into a selfless warrior, willing to do whatever it takes to save the world. Although
I don't know.
her losing one of the character traits that makes her.
Ew, what is this? Right.
That's one that's ugly. Two, we need to finish it. We need to finish it. I'm sorry. I want to say stuff, but
constantly defiant, attacking when we don't tell her to, moving around without our inputs. But if she does sacrifice herself for the good of the world, then she's just like Chris, the Knight, Noelle, Ralsei, even us, who are just following a set path that Toby Fox has pre-planned. Then again, I suppose that's kind of been the point from the start, hasn't it? But hey, that's just a theory. Theory. Thanks for watching.
Should we scroll through the comments about? I'm gonna scroll through the comments while you say stuff.
Okay, like the thing is I think that if this is how it's supposed to go, and that is what it's just said, and I think, oh wow.
Did they touch the game? Not this game again. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Oh my god, bots! Yeah, I love bots.
Like, the thing is, I think. Fuck's sake! I just read that one. Like the thing is, I think if that was the case, then once again, I just don't think Susie's reaction really works in response to the prophecy. Since if it's this idea that Susie's becoming this selfless hero, or that Susie will sacrifice himself for the world, and is becoming this genuinely nice person, then once again, I don't think she would say, "You wouldn't let me die, right, Ralsei? You wouldn't do that."
Yeah, I agree. Someone here has pointed out what we point out about the fact that it's very obviously stated that the weird route is the prophecy being changed, not the prophecy thing, which is like definitely the worst part of it. I think you misread Susie's role here. She doesn't really. She doesn't deny reality yet. Yeah, this is exactly what we said right at the beginning. Gavin on a shadow trend.
The Knight actually isn't causing the roaring, at least not as primary goal, or at least hundreds of times will be formed.
Okay, that's
that actually is fair.
Really good point, actually. Yeah, I mean they are obviously the roaring Knight, so they probably
and their body, they shouldn't be able to open their ribcage and become a ball. That ball holds the key to that ball causes an orb of light with the black silver, almost as if wounded. Seems like the Knight opened a dark fountain in their heart. Actually, that's a kind of cool.
That's actually a cool idea.
I like that.
I'm gonna say to tie into me, to make it meat though.
Yeah.
To tie into one of my most recent theory about Gaster.
Yeah.
I think it might be Gaster to open a dark fountain in them, because that is such a cool idea. Genuinely, that's such a cool idea. Although I do think this is missing the whole baseball thing with it. Obviously, both can be true. You can have something be wounded and look like something.
I think that is something generally that I found rather. I'm glad that it's being acknowledged here, because I do think it's weird that everyone just kind of assumes that this is just what Des is like in the Dark World. That's just how Des is.
What do you mean?
Des can just do that stuff.
Des just doesn't like what. That's what Des would do. Like Chris should rip out their soul.
Do you not remember all those stories that Noelle tells about Des turning into a bird?
Yeah, Chris rips out their soul, and Des rips open their ribcage. You see, it's just
I remember that.
The very thing that was no, this is a Des Knight is really close to run. Yeah, this is good. This is a really good point. I actually really like this. Don't worry, Susie is Ness. Thank you. Another Des being run over joke. Snow Groove isn't the actual name of the route. It's Weird Route.
It's the Weird Route. In our case, that's someone's destiny. Wait, what?
What?
Wait,
what?
Huh?
Is it?
The Weird Route? Weird Route in our case,
They knew it. They knew it. Scottish. Weird route.
I hope it's not. Isn't the actual translation?
What? Abandoned. What are they talking about? Jerry, hang on. I'm so interested.
Let's read this. That's all I got. We're not following the prophecy. We're not following the prophecy. Susie and Bradley broke fate, and the weird route that's us re-establishing fate, restoring the party to the fated three. And since love finds the girl, we should remember what Toby told us on before: level of violence. Okay, yeah. We're not making Chris date Noelle in a weird route. We're going to use her as a vessel. Did they say we're gonna make?
Well,
Chris
they didn't say that. I think people do say that. I do.
I think it is fair that like you even said it in the weird route. There is romantic undertones,
yeah.
Which once again like is part of the uncomfortable nature of the whole thing.
Interesting. Sorry, I found something that's talking about this. Who is this by? Long. Hello, hello. I'm in your house. Where does it say it? Wait, did they say it? And I have thought name of reboot. Calling the horror pack weird just seems like comical and similar. Yeah. But I remember another meaning of weird. That means destiny.
So it's the destiny route.
That's cool, except for why would Toby use Alkain? Why would he do that?
Because Toby's just a funny little guy.
What is this actually? Genuinely, I don't know what this is. Hang on. No, not weird, Drew.
Weird.
It's Scottish. Refers to older forms of Scots language.
I don't.
Descending from.
Article.
Wait. Descending from Old English.
Oh, Arthur.
No, not Arthur. Rose Card. Rose Card speaks in Old English.
I thought your Susie King theory was such a good idea.
Susie King theory, oh my god. Okay, that's it. Anything else? I just gotta go with that. Please, guys. Please. I'm old.
I'm old.
I love Salty DK. I still wonder if Soul's gonna manifest into the body. I really hope so, genuinely. Nothing else watching theory. I'm surprised they mentioned Gar. Oh yeah, they genuinely skipped over Garson, who is really important to the theory. No, not the theory. To the prophecy.
Yeah.
Because they really give us a good look at the prophecy. 11th, if a person makes a dark world, it reflects their characteristics.
Classic Susie.
A piano, bookshelf, classic Susie. A fake version. Hard trust. Oh, that's such a good one. The egg is free. It's hard to get because Chris made the dark world trying to run away from the dark
world and trying to run away with whatever the egg is.
That's actually such an interesting. Sorry, that's actually really.
That's actually a really good point.
That's a really cool way of looking at that. It just doesn't change the outcome. Wow, Tom really giving Buddy the call. Yeah, because I remember.
It still
Buddy is just dead when he says this. That's such.
He's fucking dead. Okay.
Also, no mention of Garson. Yeah, no mention of Garson. Tom is the wrong night. What?
So.
This is. Yeah. Sorry, I really didn't see that.
But yeah, I want to talk.
Yeah. Ooh. This line here.
Yeah.
Forbidden path. Okay, I think is that enough? But do you think that's enough for our reaction?
Yeah, that works.
All right, guys. My theory.
We are so sorry this video is so long.
Yeah, this video was supposed to be this long. My theory. I have 2 theories coming out next week, as I didn't get to upload this one this week because the video is corrupted. But this video will hopefully keep you guys keep you guys steady.
keep you guys fed.
Keep you guys fed. I held over. Is that a phrase? I really want to say that, but I'm not sure if that's actually a thing.
Go for it, go.
Keep you guys held over until my theories actually come out. Anyway, I rate this theory a 4 out of 10. It's not the worst thing I ever heard, but it's not original, and also it kind of falls apart on itself in a lot of places. And it ignores multiple important characters and themes from the game, and lines of dialogue and moments of the game. It does kind of feel like some of the people who wrote this may not have themselves directly played it and just watched someone else play it, which not a big fan of. I know GT Life did play it, but hey, if you enjoyed this, subscribe. Also, don't send hate to Game Freak. I should have said that way earlier. I should have.
Yeah.
I'll add
but we don't hate them.
I love Game Freak. Game Freak is genuinely one of my favorite channels. I'm gonna add a little message at the start, I think, of the video, just saying don't send hate, because that's not what we want. We just want to have an open dialogue about theories.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time.